Hey now, what's going on, everybody? The Ooh Ladies First panel is back. Okay, follow all of us at Ooh Ladies First Panel on Twitter and at Ooh Ladies First on Twitter and Instagram. Bondy at Bondy Blue, Jami at Jami ThatsMe, and Necey at Necey Dixon on everything. Okay, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We is us is we. We are so happy to be back with you guys. I am so sorry for the delay. We were having some technical issues, and you know how we do not like to come up here haphazardly. Okay, we like for everything to sound and look good because that's just how we do. Shout out to Jami. All right, what's up? We're
So,
back. We're back. We're back. What's going on, everyone?
what's going on? How is everybody?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm excited. I miss y'all.
Yeah, it's been a long week.
It has. It definitely has been long. We here. We made it though. We
Yeah,
That's
we
made
true.
it.
did. Thank
The
you.
day was getting even longer, child.
Oh,
Shit.
girl, my ass feel old. I went out last night and I went out to this like love and R&B little thing, right? And it's
Uh huh.
nice. But they be doing the most, like the prices, for you to just be standing up so you can listen to music you can play in your car. Like it's fun when everybody be singing the songs together. It's a vibe, but ultimately it's a money grab. And I be feeling
Mm.
the way sometimes about it, but I still went and had a good time and got a little too drunk. And so today I am paying for said drunkenness. So y'all
Mm.
can also blame me for the reason why we late because I had to accomplish certain things today and it just took longer to accomplish said things. But
Now we get it.
it's
It's
good
all
to see
good.
you girls. What's going on
Thanks
with
for
y'all?
hanging in there, people.
Yeah, thank y'all so much. We appreciate it. Well, we're not gonna, continue to wait. We're gonna go ahead and get into the first thing. So I'm gonna need for Jamie to make a shaking the table graphic at some point because she makes the
Yes,
better
ma'am.
graphics. I don't have time to
Gotcha.
act like
Gotcha.
I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I can make
Let's
out
shake
like
the
two
table.
overlays. Yes, because I couldn't find one that actually was like shaking. I want to shake the table like boom, shaking the table.
With
That way,
that,
and then some sound effect. You know what I'm saying?
Uh
Shaking
huh.
the table. Somebody get somebody get K Michelle on the line and get the audio for us. But yeah, I want to do that because I feel like somebody said that's what I did when I mentioned how I felt about this. This is also a gossip topic, and y'all know how we've been spreading things apart. So we're gonna start off here.
oh,
Okay, so this is the embrace. Okay, this is the embrace. It is a sculpture that was recently done, for Martin Luther King. Okay,
Hmm.
hold up. Let me make sure because I saved it on my other computer, so now I don't have the actual page up to tell me what the embrace, you know, all means and everything for everybody. It's in Boston, and
Hmm.
it's by I think it's what's it called, y'all? Help me when the people do work in the community and all of that type of stuff. Embrace it, like the co-founder of Embrace Boston responded to mixed reviews on this statue because it looks like a sexual act to some people, depending on where you
mm.
look at it. It's this interaction, this hug between Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King. Okay. Now I have a whole bunch of feelings about this. And so I'm just going to bullet point it for y'all. But essentially, this piece was done to commemorate Martin Luther King. I feel like how many more commemorations do we need of one person? He was not the only person responsible for the things that he accomplished. It was not just him. So it's weird to me that we continue to do this. It seems dated. There's so many Martin Luther King boulevards and streets everywhere. And I feel like
Hmm.
it's annoying to me that y'all uplift this man, but y'all don't uplift his messaging. Y'all
Mm.
don't
Oh,
do the things that he wanted y'all to do. Yet every year, y'all hold him up as the example that Black people should be. Why am I acting like I didn't have this in my notes? I did. Located in the oldest public park in the US, the Embrace is a 20-foot tall monument in Boston by artist Hank Willis Thomas in collaboration with Mass Design Group. That's what it is. Okay. Now listen, I feel like the artist, when you really look at it, because the front, when you look at it from the front, it looks like a heart. So when I'm looking at it, I feel like, in essence, it probably is a really great sculpture, but something that would have looked better if it was smaller and not so big. And for you to look at it at different angles and it looked like somebody's leg or somebody getting ate out. Because I know y'all can see that where it looked like, it's a leg And you might be riding through
Yeah.
the childless
Somebody
zone.
asking, they
Yes, exactly. That's what it looked
Me.
like somebody asked me. And they just cut the head off of the body who, was eating the ass. That's what it looks like. And I just kind of feel like you make a statue that kind of promotes, or looks like a sexual act. This man in recent years, has not been able, his, legacy has not been able to escape how he was slinging that thing around. But also I feel like the picture of him and Coretta Scott King
Mhm.
is problematic to me because I feel like that lady probably went through a lot of disrespect, being disregarded, being put on the back burner, being used for her representation, what she is as a beautiful, light complected black woman, so palatable for everybody. Like their lives were in fact, like orchestrated for the greater common good of black people.
Mhm.
And there's something in the messaging that says the black woman can be left behind, her needs cannot be met, yet she can still be used as a prop in the overall, cause. And that's what this gives me. Like, these stories about Martin Luther King, the woman he was in love with before he got with Coretta Scott King, which was a white woman,
Mm.
I'm saying, and how they were like, so in love. And it was probably the community, the other elders that came to him and said, listen, Martin, we want you to do this, but you can't do this with a white girl. Not in this time. You can't do it. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end it here. But shout out to Cynthia G because she often says something in her videos about how the only thing that they fought for in the civil rights movement was access to white women. And
mm,
obviously, it's not the only thing, but it's the only space that nobody really has to fight. We have to
Mm.
fight in every other space, like for in jobs, in schools. We have to fight to be there in every situation. To the fact that it's not really fair, it's not really equal, and we all know that. So we have to fight really hard in all of these spaces. But then when it comes to interracial relationships, that's easy now. Like people may get the stares and all of that, but legally you can go and do that just fine, and ain't nobody gonna care. You know what I'm saying? But let you go
Mhm.
try to go to a certain school. Let you try to, get into a certain field where there are not a lot of black people. You're gonna get all of this pushback when you try to buy a house. Like you get all of this pushback as a black person in all of these other ways. But this one thing. So it low key does feel like the only thing that y'all fought for and really got was access to white women. Hate to bring it
mm.
back around. But just thoughts.
I'm glad that you said something about Coretta because on MLK Day, I think it might have been one of their children or one of their grandchildren that said, "Don't forget about my mom." Yeah, don't forget about my mom because there would be no MLK Day without him. So I think that kind of touched on what you were saying. Like a lot of people don't think about what she committed to and what she had to sacrifice.
Mhm.
Um, but then part of me be like, I want to tell all book because she stayed. Did you stay because you loved him? Because a lot of women did that back then. So yeah, I want to know that. As far as the sculpture, the very first time I seen it, before I seen any headline saying that it looked inappropriate, I thought it looked like a penis, like immediately. Then I seen another picture, and I was like, I don't know. Now I seen this one, and I'm like, okay, I see a heart, but I'm like, okay, now I see somebody ass getting ate. So I think they need to start over. I think they need to start all the way over. The other thing that kind of made my ears perk up was the fact that it was in Boston, and we know Boston got
Mhm.
a history, a very racist history. So I'm like, who all let this fly? And then I also feel you on like the MLK streets, MLK this, MLK that. It kind of just feels like a here y'all go, here y'all niggas go. Like, where are all the MLK streets at anyway? In every hood, like they not know where. What white person live on MLK Boulevard? Think of one white person who live on MLK. I can't think about
I'm
nobody.
good on
I can't. They're all
okay, the
on
line
in
because of
this
how
on the south
dangerous all the
side.
MLK.
He good, like Beyonce said. He good. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Where it kind of just feels like here y'all go, and I think that they should do something different, like reparations. They
Right.
started doing
I-
Juneteenth though.
something that
So
works.
Juneteenth
So
is now the new, like, we acknowledge black people without just acknowledging MLK. So the new corporations and
right.
stuff that want to give you Juneteenth off, they think they with the newness. But I feel you on that. I do.
Let me say this right quick about
Oh,
this
go ahead.
comment,
Yeah,
Jamie, before you jump
yeah,
in.
you good. Go ahead.
Because I want to say I am not saying that Coretta Scott King was not a part of the movement. I'm literally saying that she was, and she had to take somewhat of a back seat. And what I mean by that is, what did black women get out of that struggle? Can anybody tell me what black women got out of all of the marching and everything? Because essentially to this day, y'all, we still have to say protect black women. And it's
Mm,
because we are often harmed in the process of everything and people allow it. So what I am saying is, it's not that she wasn't well spoken and articulate. She had to be extremely smart to be his counterpart in what they were doing. That's obvious. She had to check a lot of boxes in order to be Martin Luther King's wife. It's very obvious that that was thought about beforehand. So I'm not saying that she wasn't extremely impressive within her own right. I am saying the whole thing feels more male centered. It doesn't feel like it was really about black women getting our just due in the situation, because even when y'all talk about the things that have happened to black people in America, y'all always talk about the men first. Men literally, black men literally are able to use racism against black women in arguments as if we also don't have to deal with those same things. And it's
hmm
gaslighting and it's ignoring how we are actually affected in something we do all of
hmm
the fighting for. So that's really what I'm talking about. Like, she's an example of somebody that was a showman's piece, but her real freedom wasn't really given to her, and she had to fight for, you know, other people's freedoms. And I just feel like she didn't really get that same thing. That's all.
Yeah, I wish we could have heard her story. Like Nisa was saying, like a tell-all book. I would like to just hear more. And I really want to know more about how she was checked in on as all of this was happening with her husband. I do feel like she does represent the example that a lot of people would like to call the strong black woman, where you just like endure over and over. Oh, she'll be fine, and not acknowledging that we're human too and we go through our own stuff, even while trying to be a supportive wife and being a mom. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to know more of her story as well. And because she was also a part of the movement, as that person said. So I would want to know more, and how, who checked in with her, how they checked in, and what she actually went through as her husband literally put his life on the line, therefore putting their lives on the line as well. When it comes to the statue, I cringe. When I first saw it unveiled, I said, "What the hell is this?" Somebody saw in the comments, somebody said, "If you know art, you know this is beautiful." I said, "Well, I don't know art, baby, except for the art behind me. That's about all that I know. I'm not trying to get to know. I'm not gonna act like I know. Okay, make it simple for me so that I can get into it." But that wasn't it. The other issue that I have with the statue, because I'm with the unpopular opinion as well on that. I just feel like if you wanted to do one, maybe you could have did one of him, although I'm sure there are tons of him, but I don't think he was the only person that contributed to the black history, okay, of ours. So you could have probably created a statue for of somebody else. When I think about a lot of the white folks, how all these statues got knocked down over the years, like, why don't you, for me, everybody's different. You could have did a statue of Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice. It was a lot of other individuals that died, by the hands of the police, and no justice have been served. So why don't you put that in the community so that they can see that as a reminder that nothing has been done? Because we've been over here looking at statues of white men that we would claim to be as murderers. So why not just put images up of people that have been murdered and no justice have been served as a reminder? But that's just me.
Exactly.
Y'all
I
do what y'all
agree.
want to do with that. So yeah,
I
Or
like this
10 million,
comment.
y'all could have put it into something
our
black.
The
pockets.
community,
Yeah, y'all
the
could have put it
community.
into something black.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't like that. I
I
don't like that.
saw a very interesting TikTok about how in a lot of black communities where there's a lot of blighted property, there's like usually one or two white people that own all of the blighted properties that they allow to be blighted so that they can drive the housing market up. all the way down. And so when they want to come in and rebuild, they can buy all of the properties up for cheap, push everybody out, do whatever they want to do. Um,
That's
and you
exactly how
know,
it go.
and they've been doing that for like, for years. And I mean, before they just used to go there and kill everybody and put water over your fucking town
Come on,
or
bomb
park
you and
over
shit.
it. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So like, because I mean, that's what they've been doing. So it's like they just always kind of figure out a way to fuck with us in one way or another, for lack of a better term, in this moment. But I appreciate this comment. Statue only look good or make sense only in one angle. And I feel like that is low key a microcosm for the way I look at the whole civil rights movement thing. Because
Mhm.
even though, yes, from one angle, it looks amazing, but from the other angles, it looks empty or vapid. You know what I'm saying? Like not as profoundly deep as it could have been because everybody was so focused on how things looked versus how they really were. You know what I'm saying? So like even though we're dealing with, the what was really happening for the civil rights movement, I feel like as far as people were concerned, it was a lot of pump faking. Shout out to Akbar B.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of pump faking. And now I think we have a reflection of that in society where it's still pump faking. It's more about how it looks than how it really is. And I think we should pay attention to those things if we're trying to actually do better, if we're trying to not go in the same circles over and over again. But people think whenever you talk about these things, no, we shouldn't talk about it. We shouldn't talk.
Mhm.
No, let's talk about the shit. We need to
No, people want to
understand.
go in circles. People want to go
Mhm.
in circles. That's why I smile like that, especially white
Mhm.
people.
Oh,
But yeah,
Mm.
it just be a different, you know, different playing field. But yeah,
So
yeah.
we have one more unpopular opinion that Nisi had, and it's, of course, less heavy. I don't have a graphic for it, but I feel like we don't need a graphic for it because I feel like she's going to
dang, I
describe
feel
it.
like you do, just so we can look at the
We
quality.
can do that. Give me a second, please.
Okay,
Tell them, and I will.
I
I will.
agree,
just share
Necey. I
screen.
think it's pivotal to the conversation.
Yeah, it
Okay.
has to be, and I get to, it, I get to, it, I get to it.
Okay.
Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button while you over here help Bondy. She's almost at 100,000 in that bit.
Let's get
So
it.
definitely go ahead and do your part. It's free. We
I do.
appreciate you all. Thank you.
I do. I do appreciate you. I do. I do. I do. Okay. I'm gonna do a share screen. Keep it simple. Okay. All right. So we're all here,
Okay.
and Nisi, talk to me.
Unpopular. Let's go.
So, my unpopular opinion is that I absolutely hate Telfar. I do. Absolutely. I thought for a second that I would be, turned. I felt like I would be influenced, but I just have not. And I'm going to tell y'all why. So, from when they first started getting popular, I was like, okay, cool, black owned. It was like this huge wave of black owned designers, black owned brands. I saw a bunch of designers that had actually quality bags.
Hmm.
Some designers I don't even know the name of. And when I saw this bag at $200 and I saw somebody do an unboxing, when I saw that the shit arrived flat and then you open it and prop it up for $257, why is my bag able to fit in a letter size mailer? What? I want
Mm.
it to arrive a little bit thicker than that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's
I
the
forgot to
photos.
say the first and foremost. I forgot to say that. Shout out to black owned businesses. But for me, I feel like it's cloud based. It's very much cloud based,
Mm.
and I would like to spend my black owned coin on something that's a little bit more quality. Um, Around that same time, that's when I started liking Brandon Blackwood. But I know a lot of people dislike Brandon Blackwood because his quality went down when he started doing mass production. I do think it's better
Mm.
now. Another thing, shout out to Fashion Made Me Do It House of Rehab. My friend Ashley, she has her
I like
own
that one.
purse brand. Oh, you know who she is? She from Detroit. Oh, that bag.
No,
You
yeah, I was
said
saying
that bag
I
on the
like
screen.
that one. That's the one I was telling you about.
Okay, so Ashley from Detroit, and she compared the quality of her bags to a Telfar bag
Hmm.
a long, long, long time ago. I don't even know if she put it on her main story. But for me, I was like, damn. I can't get with it, and I don't. I would never. The closest Telfar bag that I was like, ooh, okay, that one's cool. They had a wool one for the winter, and that one actually had like, elevated textiles. This other stuff that I look like I could take to Aldi, it's
Mm,
a no for me. That's just me.
That's not even the bag. Now that I'm looking at it, it's whichever bag the housewives have on Potomac, because their bags look of more quality, but it got a lot of the logos on it. I
Oh yeah,
agree 1000% with Nisi. It's giving Sheree a little bit, in all honesty, my
mm,
unpopular opinion, because when Sheree had her t-shirts, they were wrinkled. When
mm.
she put them on the site. And I have to be very honest, I do see wrinkles in the actual product on these images, and it just doesn't pop out for me. Now I will say his hats look nice to me. I was like,
mm,
okay, I would get a hat. I would rock that.
Yeah, you see that, huh?
But anything else, like I wasn't a fan of the logo, and then all the girls just running out grabbing one just to say they got a tail far. I'm like, girl, take it far.
yeah.
Take it far from me. No, ma'am, but that's your taste. It's not mine. So yeah, I agree.
The
It's
only
just not that
thing
girl.
the only thing that I have that I like of Telfar is not even mine, but I bought Lyric some Telfar Ugg slippers and he loves them. But that's also
So
like
quality, something of
yes,
quality.
exactly
Mhm.
with Ugg. Thank you, Felicia, for the super chat.
I
So
mean,
it's
I
not
do, and I do
I'm
hate.
not a
I'm
fan.
glad DC said shout out to the to the black people, because I'm just kind of like, I mean, I hate to SHI on a black owned brand, but it's like
Right.
I have to be honest. Like I don't like the bag.
Yeah, yeah. It's just not for me. That's my $200 and something dollars I could spend on something that's like closer to real leather or leather. You could get leather for that price.
Thank you, Jania, for the super chat. I appreciate it. She said that these bags, the puffer bag and the UGG collabs are nice. The regular bags look cheap. Okay, that's what she said. I believe y'all because I saw them in store and I was like, oh, that's all it's giving. And I was just like, oh, all right, never mind then.
Oh,
And
they
then I
in the
went,
store.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
feel
know
like
that.
I saw
Mhm.
them somewhere. I'm
I've
knowing.
seen some fake ones at Shoe Deal over here on 635 in Dallas, and they look like the real thing.
Oh, it might have been a fake.
Now y'all know who bags I do kind of like. He makes me think of Brandon Blackwood, but his name is Nathaniel Nowhere. I hope I said it
I
right.
know
Let me
he
look up
is.
Brandon Blackwood because I don't even know him.
Yeah,
Y'all.
I think their
Oh,
bags are kind of similar, and he has quality bags. Yeah, Nathaniel does. I like his stuff too.
Because y'all know
you got
I
to
love me
put that in
a
the chat,
good
Jamie.
bag.
So what is he?
Okay,
Put that in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm about to send it now.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Hold up. Okay. Oh, these are cute. Okay, that's different.
He had those in like so he started going viral once he had the end systemic racism totes.
Oh, okay.
Then he started having other totes. Like I have that puffer one. He got a real cute like a bandana one, a one that's pony hair that's super cute. Lots of different textiles, shapes. The
Oh,
bags actually have a
I love the
shape.
Elizabeth Doctor bag, bitch. That look like me. Oh, okay, totes. Oh, that's cute.
And I sent
And look,
Nathaniel's
no
to the
wrinkles.
chat.
No wrinkles.
And they
Okay,
sit
thank
up on
you.
their own.
Okay, that's cute. That purple one is real cute, girl. Oh, love. Let me read this super chat. Thank you, Deion McKenzie, for the super chat. The same resolution to America will always remain destroying your Constitution, Bill of Rights, and state laws. This is heart of the beast that keeps us oppressed. We want change. Go after the roots. Thank you for that. And you are right. And nobody ever wants to go for the roots. Everybody wants to keep it on the surface, base level. But yeah, these are cute. I'm gonna have to come back. Okay, so what you sent in the Instagram?
I sent y'all I think it's Nowhere. I hope I'm saying it right. Nowhere Apparel, but it's by Nathaniel Nowhere. So he has
Okay.
some cute stuff. Some super cute stuff actually. I had ordered two of
Right.
his bags that I gave to my
Yeah.
nieces for Christmas, but they're super cute and I like
Okay.
the quality.
Yeah.
He said her bags are amazing. So she black on. All right, come on, y'all. Tell us about the black owned peoples. Okay, the black owned peoples. Valency. Okay, all right. Put it in
Mhm.
the DMs, girls, because y'all know when I have money
Mhm.
again, I'll go shopping. Okay, so with that being said, I feel like we can go ahead and move on to these TV shows, girl, because
Okay.
we got some shit to get into. So
Let's get it, get
let's
it,
do
get it, get
it.
it.
Okay, so y'all asked for it, so we're gonna give y'all a little bit of love after lockup. Okay, I'm only talking about three couples, and I'm starting off with Justine and Michael. Okay, Justine and Michael, he just got out of jail. She a whole single mama out here. He's a
Mm.
rapper. He can actually rap. This past episode, the thing that stuck out to me most was the fact that Justine is like so thirsty to be a wife. His
Mm.
manager Mocha said, "You're gonna have to take the wedding ring off. If you really want to rap, we don't want people to really know that you're married like that." Mike was like, "I don't mind people knowing I'm married. I'm proud to be married." But Mocha is like, "Nah, it's gotta go." Justine is like, "My husband's never taking off his ring ever, ever, and it for no reason." And it's just kind of like, girl, do you want this money or not? Like, do
Right, right.
you want
Go
this
take
money or
that
not?
man to the tattoo shop and call it a day.
On
Okay.
God. On God. That's all she gotta do. Take me to the tattoo shop. I do think it's messed up of Mocha to tell him you're gonna have to let go of that ring. I feel like he can make it a part of his brand and be out here rapping and show his loyalty to his wife. You
They
feel what
I
I'm
already
don't
on a
think he
saying?
reality
can.
I
show.
feel like it's a few artists that got women in committed relationships. I feel like he could let some stuff,
I agree.
Who,
slide. But I
Jamie?
think the tattoo would work. I feel like T.I. I mean, like
Offset.
he started out not being married, but he was in a relationship with Tiny like the whole time. And then they
Well,
got
I'm
married.
trying to think of ones that started out married with a ring. Because
Oh
if
yeah,
you think
no.
about like J. Cole, if
That's
you think about Kendrick, shit, even Lakeith Stanfield, she was hitting. Even Jay Ellis,
that's
hitting.
very true.
That
That's
is
very
true.
true. I
That's
can't
why I
think of
said,
a whole
if
lot.
you really
I
want the
mean,
money, let it rock.
Snoop Dogg would probably be the only one
But they
that
weren't
comes to
married at the
mind.
beginning.
But Snoop Dogg
Right.
wasn't. I thought he was married to her the whole time
Not at the very
since he came
beginning.
out.
Mm-mm.
No.
They got married like while he was famous because I feel like I remember the wedding pictures or something like that. But like
Okay.
I feel like they got, and I could be wrong, but I really do feel like they knew each other. They were together, but I think they
Right,
got
but they
married
weren't
after he was
married until
already,
later.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Thank
Okay.
you, I am Diva Nicole for the super chat.
I still think it's possible though. Like, I mean, what did I mean, like, I feel like a
True.
lot of
It
things have
is.
changed, right? Like, they didn't think women could have babies and still be a successful artist. So, because of that, I'm like, why can't he not be married and still be successful in whatever he's trying to do? So,
I
I felt
see
like
both sides
Mocha,
of it.
I feel like him asking him not to wear that ring is going to lead to some other stuff. It's just, I just got to get the ring up off your finger first, and
He
then
want him
it's
to
going
be
to be on some
he
other
want him
stuff.
to be the dude that his bait. He want him to be the dude that gets girls
Mhm.
to him. That's what it felt like for me.
I could see that.
That's what I
I
clocked
definitely could see that.
immediately because I was like, they're already on a reality show. He's using the reality show to bolster the career, which means people are gonna already know about your relationship with Justine if they're coming to you now from being on this show. So that doesn't even make sense. Nah, you just want
True.
your pretty homeboy to come out with you now that he done lost weight and his head didn't grew out. And
Yeah,
so
I
you
didn't even
want him
recognize this man. I was
for
like, did
real.
I watch that part of the episode?
He looks much
Yeah,
better.
he looks really good now
He
that he
do.
lost all that weight.
I was
Mm.
just like, oh, all right then. But that's why her hair's so gone because he's nice looking. He seems very sweet. Like so far, so good with Mike. Like I like him. Justine seems crazy.
I don't know. So far,
Look at her
she
eyes.
cool. So far, she
Look at
cool.
her eyes.
Not look at her eyes, BLT. This is a
You know
horrible
who she
photo.
low key look like? And this ain't no shade at all. That's not
Destiny.
me trying to like say, yeah, she looked just like Destiny in this picture. They have the same. She looks just like Destiny from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Like literally, they
Bonnie,
could
can
be
you please give us a side by side? We will allot the
Okay,
time
we
for
go.
a
Okay,
quick
let me
side
do
by
it.
side.
they
Let me
Let
do
look
me.
it.
very similar.
That is fucking hilarious. Okay.
Oh my god.
And I
Oh
was like, you
my
said it
god.
before I even did. You saw it.
I'm about to hold up. I
Wow.
got
Wow. Wow.
I got something. Wow, wow. I gotta get something with Destiny on it, child. Let me find something with Destiny on it. Oh my shit. Okay. So wait, besides
Okay.
okay, wait, we can talk about something with them
You
while
Mm,
I'm
see it,
doing
I
this.
Jamie?
see. I
Okay.
see where you're
You
going.
see it? They look
I,
alike. Like it's in
What
the
you sent
eyes,
it?
I see where you're
though.
going with this. I yeah.
Hold up. I'm about to pull
Mm.
it up. Okay. Nah, I get Destiny right quick. But
Now
okay.
somebody said clean your glasses.
What did y'all think about the situation with her with his
His
mom?
mom,
Yeah,
listen, I felt like the mama overstepped her boundaries.
me too.
Don't like, first of all, your granddaughter ain't even your daughter for you to dictate what she can and cannot do. Granted, her
Mhm.
daddy was in jail, whatever, he's out now. He's gonna be the one to dictate how she moves, or whatever the case
Yeah.
is. But for you to just insinuate because this lady got a tattoo, let her daughter get a tattoo, that she's gonna do that with this your grandchild, like, I just felt like the mama was coming right out the gate. Like, she doesn't want someone else to take her place in his life, basically. So
Yeah.
one way to come at her was to kind of, target her about her child. And I loved how she stood her ground, sending
Me
your daughter
too.
over there like your daughter was finna do something. Girl,
Like,
she
bitch, I
stood. I
don't care.
said, let's go.
No,
I'm here for her.
I like Justine for that reason. But when she talks about like before he got out of jail and just the way I can see that look in her eye, it just gives crazy bitch. It's giving I'm containing my crazy bitch right now.
Mm.
But he gonna find out eventually that I'm crazy. Like that's what it felt. I could be wrong, but and I like them
No,
together.
that could be very, very possible.
But
I
look at the
do
sweet
like them
on.
together too. But I can see that when he said he was gonna go to the studio and she was like, I'm going with you. Wow, wow, wow.
I see it. I see it. I was
It's
trying to look for a picture of her of Destiny facing the front, but I
But
can see
it's
you
it.
the
don't really need
eyes
one
for
from the
sure.
front. You can see it.
It's the
They
eyes for
can they
sure.
can definitely be sisters. Like,
Yes.
yes, I know I'm not tripping shit. My glass is clean.
Or first
Listen.
cousins.
Whoever got something to say about
Shit,
our
have
glasses
I go
being
They
half
dirty.
sisters
definitely they
before I
could
go
that
cousins. Y'all got the same daddy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's giving
I
same
see
daddy.
him. I see
It's
where you was going with that. I didn't see it at first. I was like, yeah, I see it. I
and,
can see that.
long lost cousins, long lost
Long.
cousins.
Not long. Yeah, I can see that. It's the eyes for me.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it is. It's the eyes. I mean,
Absolutely.
in the eyebrow shit.
Nigga said tear into a mirror.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
don't
mean to
see
cover
tears
your
in
face,
there.
baby. Oh my
Huh?
god.
No,
I
no,
said
no,
I
you're
didn't
fine.
mean
You're
to
fine.
cover
You're
your
fine. You're
face.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, that's what's going on with them. Hilarity. Okay, let's move on to Monique and Derek.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so y'all know Monique and Derek really went viral for a lot of reasons, but really because Funky Dineva said that, Derek wasn't really into Monique because of her size and he was just using her.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I feel like he liked big girls. He probably just don't like them as big as she is. But I think he's sexually attracted to bigger girls. I do. And so for that, I do feel like he enjoys having sex with her. Like it's just the energy that it gives. Like if it gives, I do want her to be smaller, but might still get hard.
Yeah,
So
I
like
agree.
that's the vibe. So I don't think her weight has anything to do with it. I think it's her mentality and her mindset. She is really like humbuggish. His sisters keep texting her and calling her saying crazy shit, and he's telling her to ignore it. He's trying to go to the gym
Hmm.
and work out with her and shit because he wants to be a trainer, and she is going back and forth with his sisters and shit on text message, and they calling and it's mess. And then his grandmother is really sick, and she's like, they saying you need to go and see your grandmother, and he was like, I just got out, I don't want to deal with this, which
I
kind of
think
is
they
fucked
lying.
up, huh?
I think they lying.
Mm.
You think they was
You think
lying to
they just
try to
trying to
get
get
him
him away from
over?
her?
Yeah.
Yes, I
And
think
that's
they
probably
lying
why he didn't go.
because
Hmm.
yes, at the beginning she was like, when she answered the phone, she was like, everything good or everything good, and then she had to ask about the grandmother for her to be like, oh, well, she need to come right now. It didn't seem like that was the intent of the sister initially calling to me.
Hmm.
But yeah, I agree with you, Bonnie. I think he want her. I was watching the whole episode and I was like, I don't see nothing that's
I mean, he
too
held her
off.
hand while they worked out and everything. Like, I think he's also using her, yeah. But I think dudes
Yeah,
have a very keen ability to be physically attracted to somebody and use them all at the same time.
Hmm.
Like, yeah,
Hmm.
they can do that. Another
Yeah.
thing that they went viral for was that dinner. He gets out of jail. She has spent all of this money on him, and then he spends $500 on a dinner at this restaurant, and then wanted to go and gamble and asked her to go to the ATM to get money out of her account.
Mm.
So it was giving, he was using her for real, for real. And then it came out that he expected for the show to pay for that dinner, and it was the show that paid for it. I don't really believe that, but either way, I still feel like what he was doing in some way was punishment. Like, you lied to me, because I think she catfished him a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think that he was like, okay, you're gonna catfish me a little bit. I'm gonna run your pockets. I think that's the
Yikes.
way he handled her in that situation. But no, I think he is really attracted to bigger girls, and I think that she's just really young-minded and insecure. And
How old is she?
I don't know.
oh, I don't
He
know how
also
old.
could be using this as
I
a
thought
come
she
up
was like
though.
30.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely
When
being
he
used
said
for a
he
come up.
wanted to be a personal trainer, I was
You can get
like,
her to lose
oh,
weight.
you like her, but you also want her to be some sort of
Project.
catalyst.
That's what
Hmm.
my thing was. I said I was like, he might like her. I'm gonna say this. I don't know if he likes her, but I hope that he likes her. I really like the fact that he gives her PDA. And I don't know if she said that before. I don't know, but I do think it's possible he likes big girls. I don't think he likes that big of, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he likes his girlfriend to be as big as she is. But I think ultimately he sees her as a project. As soon as he said that he's into training, I'm like, that's what he's doing. He wants to
Yeah.
work you out so that he can use this as an opportunity to say, "See, her before, her after, come work out with me, X, Y, and Z." And as long as he's
Hmm.
linked to her, it's gonna make more sense for him to be on this show. So I don't think I don't know. I don't think he fully enjoys SEX,
Hmm.
with her. The little piece of the live that I saw, I ain't really see much of a connection on that IG live. I saw more of a connection of them being in person versus that live. So I'm like, was he playing up for the cameras and then now he in the real world on IG? Does he really like her like that? Like, so I don't know if he really likes her. I really hope that he does though. But I do think she needs to back off when it comes to his family. I think she overinserts herself, even though they be coming at her. I get that, but if he's telling you to chill, chill. She talking about she want to move there with him. That is going to be hell for everybody, not just him, because the family don't like you like that. So I mean, why would you want to beef with the lady on social media? You're only making it worse for yourself. So I just leave it alone.
And this is definitely one of those times where these women are glutton for punishment, because he said, don't come live out here. Don't come live out here. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Plainly.
do it.
Plainly.
And it feel like she probably still gonna do it. Aren't they together now? I don't know if they living
That's
in
what
the
they
same
say.
place, but they say they're together and they've been together. I was just kind of like, okay, girl, if you happy, we love it. But I didn't like the whole, you know, he he can't really be sexually attracted to you because you so big bullshit. I don't like that, because I feel like there's a whole genre of porn that is like
That's
specifically
very
for
true.
big BBWs and bigger girls and all of that. So I
Hmm.
think that it might be fetish. It might be something that
Yeah.
niggas don't like for y'all to know, but that don't mean it's not happening.
Yeah, that's true. And then I mean, and it could be that he really don't. And
Yeah,
he
no,
using this
for real.
as his way to come up, like y'all mentioned.
I think it's both. I think it's something that he can do both. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
very much so.
yeah, I do feel like, however, he may not be as attracted to her at this size that she's at, because I feel like he would have been fucking her more, because really that's what she wanted. Like, he, that day when he wanted to go out and gamble, I was like, all you gotta do is fuck her, and then she would have went to sleep, and then you could have went and took the
That's
money, and it would
it.
have been
That's
fine.
it.
That's all
That's
she wanted.
it. But I do wonder though, because that's why I can't get it. I can't really gauge it for me. But I'm hoping he really likes her. But could it be that he's went without it for so long that maybe his drive, like he has a
Isn't where
I was
strong,
thinking the
like,
same thing, Jamie. Like, what is it easier?
right?
yeah, like is it to not do it all the time? Like maybe he can manage it
Yeah.
more or something.
Oh,
Or
maybe.
is it kind of just like, damn, I just give me something that's moist? Is what I was wondering. But I don't know. We gonna
The
see.
funny thing was she wasn't into him. Is what it sounded like. I don't think he was working it like she wanted him to.
Mm. Another
Probably
thing is,
not.
she's not normally with younger men too. They were saying that she normally
Oh,
dates
that's
older
right.
men. So I was like, I wonder like what's really hood in this situation. But either
Um,
way,
they the
thank you,
most
Janae Jennings,
entertaining.
for the super chat. I mean, even exchange ain't no robbery. Get the weight off, and if he don't like you for real, it'll help her find a new man. I mean, even exchange ain't no robbery. Oh, I know. I feel y'all. I feel y'all. I don't feel like it's a situation where one person is taking advantage of the other person, in another. Yeah, I don't feel like it's like that. I feel like she it's doing what a lot of these people do. You want to be with somebody and you want to be able to hold money over their head so that you can control them because you feel like you wouldn't be able to keep them otherwise. So you use those things.
I wanted to
That's what I
say one more
oh I'm
thing
sorry.
about
Yeah.
them.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing. I don't think that it's a he's out of her league. I think when you rate them, they go together. They're just
Mm-hmm.
not a typical pairing when you think about size. I seen somebody comment and say, "I've always had fine men around my neck, but this man not fine." Um, they go together. I just
Damn.
don't think they typically go together when you think about size, and so
Child, when they be
I'm
sitting
sure
in the
she
car
could get a
together,
fine man.
when I was being nice by not putting a photo of them when they sitting in the car together. Because if it don't look like somebody about to go drop their child off at school,
Ooh.
Oh,
that's what it looked like. Every time they be in the car, it looked like she just dropping her son off at school. He forgot
I
his,
hate that
he
it's
forgot
her
to put his
always
kid.
driving too.
Yeah,
I
she
don't
always.
think his license is intact, or is it?
Yeah, he probably can't
It's probably
drive.
not. He
He
just
do.
got
He
out.
need to try. Yeah, I'm with Niecy though. I'm like, he can't. Like, can we switch, even if it is illegal for a little bit? Because I do be
People
tired
do
of
it
seeing
all the
her
time on the show.
always driving.
Yeah, and
Um,
he said during the episode, "Go ahead, pull out the driveway. Like, go ahead, go ahead, start driving me." I was like,
Did y'all catch the bank scene? It really irritated me. I'm not gonna lie. Monique really got
yes,
to my nerves when she started saying, who is that? You said, when the last time you talked to her? I was like, y'all doing this in front of the bank man? Why are you bringing up some random woman? Like, chill out, Mo. You gonna run this man off with all these questions you asking.
yeah, he a
Girl,
scammer. He giving scammer vibes too.
I am
How the
wondering
hell
about
you
that
sell?
$9,000 check.
How you say 9,000 a year? And then whenever he in prison, then when he asks you, "Have you done crypto?" You talking about I help somebody do something with their wallet, but you don't do crypto. What? What you doing?
Right.
sounds like
Right.
sounds like some funny shit. That's what it sounds like. Some funny style shit.
Hilarious.
But it could have been his money. It could have been. That's what they said. People were saying, that it could have been his money. He wanted to go to the ATM for, and it's in her account, and that's a possibility.
Oh.
But I still feel like, so who bought him the Gucci shirt? Like it's just way too much money being spent for it to just be from the inmates. That doesn't make sense. Especially not on Love After Lockup, Love During Lockup, Life After Lockup. Don't none of these lockup shows be a situation where the person is not being used financially. Like they're just always being used financially. It is what it is. Speaking of being used financially, Chris and Gabby. So Chris and Gabby are very problematic because we already know how their relationship
Girl.
has turned out. Like Chris beat Gabby up, like bruises and all of this. It was on TikTok. I'm sorry that I cannot find that video again, but I literally saw the TikTok video of her talking about him beating her ass you know, after the show was taping or whatever. So
That's what
basically,
he was giving.
yeah. So he says he gave her this money, $60,000, and she ran through the money. We saw her running through the money before he got out of jail. But I feel like a lot of people are missing the component where he also gave his mom money. His mom also has her fake MCM bag. So I'm just a fake or real. So I'm trying to figure out, everybody's looking at her like, oh, you spend up all his money. And then she came out later and said that he really didn't give her all of that money. That was just for the show. But either way, it's like a lot of people are looking at Gabby and Chris like she gamed him, and her getting her ass whipped was like basically the justice for her gaming him, because he gets out of jail. She makes him catch a train to her house. She doesn't let him inside. He's standing outside with his bags, feeling away because he like, I paid for that
I said,
apartment
shut up.
and everything.
And
And
people really think she played him.
that's how they feel, because when he got home, she didn't want to let him inside. And she got all his surgery and stuff done with the
You talking
money.
about this past episode? She didn't want to let him inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
I
also
didn't
because
get that vibe.
he had been calling other women. She said she looked at the phone
Right.
bill and saw all of these other phone numbers. And I'm like, well, he just got out of jail. You don't know who those other phone numbers really are. It could be anybody. But either way, I mean, we know he probably cheating on her already or talking to other women. We know that.
Right.
But she was trying to punish him. So it was humiliating. He's standing outside the building with his bag and shit, waiting for her to let him upstairs. It wasn't until he started to walk away that she threw her keys out the window and told him to come upstairs. And then she
Mm-hmm.
made him sleep on the sofa and didn't let him come into the bedroom. So it's like, you were antagonizing him.
I didn't think she was at
I
all.
sent you some links, Bondy.
Okay,
I don't
thank
know
you.
if those the ones you're talking about, but it looked like it.
Okay. Because we could definitely pull that up. I appreciate that. Because I remember I went back looking for it and I would keep seeing her talking about it, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't see the original video of like her showing the bruises and stuff. Hold on, let me go to the
Mm.
DMs.
Interesting, child. That is some crazy stuff there. I don't really like Gabby too much on the show, to be honest. I do find her to be extremely irritating for absolutely no reason. She's one of those people to me that enjoys arguing and finding a
Yeah,
reason to
she does.
fight so they can have great sex later.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Um, I cannot stand that about her. Now, when she be kind of coming up against their mom, his mom and them, I don't really be minding too much because they
because
are
they give off a vibe.
aggravating. They
They give
are,
off
but
a vibe.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's just how she may come at him sideways. Sometimes I be like, come on, Gabby, like, chill, you need to chill out now.
Okay, so let's see. Hold up.
Gabby seemed to be doing good for the most part up until she started posting these videos recently. She posted this. She said, "This is where I gave up on living. Asked me, what is that joke, you effing bozo?" I'm not going to post the full clips. I'll show a few screenshots, but if you guys want to see the full
Yeah,
clips,
that's
they
what I
are
meant.
on the Love
This
After Lockup
original
Reddit group.
story I couldn't
And she
find.
says, "Does this look like someone beating a man?" And we have Chris here grabbing her by her hair and shaking her violently. The video is
What?
Mm.
super disturbing. And she said he got his family and friends and little hoes lying on the internet. He is charged and wanted for a reason. And then
Dang.
she posted putting a knife to my neck, saying I'm a unalive myself if he doesn't stay with me. I have videos of me saying to leave my apartment peacefully. Please don't speak on the unknown. I don't want him at all. Like, I really feel bad for whoever ends up with him. And then she posted, "Don't tell me I'm not strong when I stood strong fighting for my life without fighting back." And when I say that, I mean trying to stay alive and breathing, taking every punch, every kick, every stomp, every beating, feeling every broken bone in my face until he stopped.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And the
Now,
other one was just of her talking on her live. I mean, you don't have
yeah.
to play it,
I'm
but I
going
was
to
just saying that.
This was the
that.
only episode I watched.
That's
So
crazy.
I had a feeling she was toxic, but yeah.
Hold up.
I had a feeling that he was abusive too though.
You could tell there's an energy about him.
told him no, he got mad. And I said, let's wait. Wait till you come home. Get the experience. He got so mad and so hyped because he can't stay still. He got like a problem. He sent it to his family and they ran off with the extra money and they already had 90K. And they
Hmm.
spent that in like 3 weeks.
I believe it.
His mom is in the project and she bought like a fucking ridiculous TV. Like I think it was like $10,000 for this TV. It was like a movie theater TV.
What?
And
$10,000 TV.
yes, and he was like, "What are you doing with the money?" She's laughing on the phone. I can remember. I remember that she was on three-way. She's like, you know, Chris, I always wanted this TV. Like, just match it. And what bothers me is this season, she's like, what happened to the money? And if you guys really tell, if you look at her face, I want y'all to go look back at that episode. And when the brother and the mother was together, because that was the brother that ran off with the money and her. If you look at them, look at the brother and his facial expression. He's like, what happened to the money? Damn. She took the money. Look, he couldn't even face them because he knows that he's the one who did it. Even the mom,
Hmm.
she's like, damn, what happened to the money? If you see her face, she's looking down too because they're the ones who did it. They're trying to put it on me.
Mm-mm.
I
Okay.
believe it.
Yep,
He said in the episode he gave all the money away to everybody.
he
Mhm.
did.
He did say that,
He
which was so
did.
dumb. And that's what I was saying from the beginning. Everybody wants to blame her, but essentially he's the one that gave out all of his damn money
Mm-hmm.
to some girl while he was in jail. And now you mad because you don't have anything. That was a decision you made. You know what I'm saying? Like that was stupid on your part. Like,
Right.
so it's an unfortunate situation all the ways around. But if anything else transpires, child, we'll be back. All right.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Now, I originally was gonna do growing up hip hop, but I was like, I don't care that much because it's not that interesting right now. Maybe if something
Not
more
yet.
interesting
I
happens,
haven't
but it's
watched.
you could check out Jamie. Jamie did like a little video about it, talking about what happened and really got to the point. I talked about it in a live this week. If y'all want to hear somebody talk about the shit, but outside of that, I didn't feel like it was Ooh Ladies First Panel material beach. Okay, so we gonna move on into Ready to Love. We finally coming to y'all. Okay, well, I'm finally coming to y'all with a review because I know we talked about it last week, which is the only reason we talked about it this week. Okay. Because these people sometimes I just be like, "Bitch, I'm bored. Like y'all ain't even giving me nothing. It's the same old, and it ain't nothing.
Not
It's nothing
yet.
new. Not yet. So we got the new people. They added new people. We have over here, we have Jonique and we have Cynthia, and then we have Mark Anthony and we have Fabrice, who I like to call Uncle Festa. Okay. Um, Basically, main things that I feel like were point out worthy or whatever was the fact that Uncle Fester is oversexed and talks about sex way too much in his conversations. I didn't like Mark Anthony's conversation with Corvea. Okay, y'all see Corvea
Mhm.
in the pic over here. I didn't like their conversation because when they were talking and she was like, so do you spoil your woman? And he was like, I give you what you earn. And she was like, well, that's scary. She was like, so you can't just pick up on the fact that I deserve spoiling. I have to prove something to you. And I
Mm.
feel like I love the fact that she pointed that out. They may not like Corvea, but honestly, I
Right.
feel like she pointed out off rip that Mark Anthony is full of shit because I feel like you can tell Corvea has her own shit. For you to say she was
Yes.
yes, so for him to say, "Oh, it's giving gold digger vibes," I'm like, how can you call her a gold digger for wanting to be with someone who spoils her? I don't. Why do
Well,
I have to work for you to treat me nicely, nigga? That's what the relationship shit is for. You treat me nicely, I treat you nicely. I don't know what y'all think relationships are, but you're supposed to want to spoil the person. If you don't want to spoil them, you probably don't like them. And when we're talking about spoiling, what that means is if a person likes certain things, you do those things for them as much as you can within reason, of course. But I feel like him thinking she's a gold digger just because she wants to be spoiled by the person she's in a relationship with is a red flag.
I really like Corvea, but I feel like this might not be the show for her. I feel like she should be on like $1 Million Matchmaker or whatever they
A
call
million
that.
dollar.
Is that what it's called, or
She needs to
Bachelor? Is
leave
that it?
where white
I
people
was thinking like Married at First Sight.
Or yeah, or that one, yeah. But I don't know because they're gonna get her a terrible guy,
are.
and I just feel like none of these guys are on her level. And I really like the lack of a better term is standards that's coming to my mind, like how high her
Yeah.
standards are.
Me
But
too.
Uh-huh.
ultimately, I love how she challenges them right out the gate. And I feel like when you present yourself like that, you can automatically kind of see who's with the BS, because all men love talking about how they want a certain type of woman that can help them and this, that, and the other, and whatever. But when you get a woman that can help you rise to the occasion, you see her as though she's a threat. And then you try to label her as though she's problematic or this or that, or you know what I'm
A
saying? So
gold
it's like
digger.
they don't be making sense. So I really like her.
I love her energy.
Febreze was
Yeah.
irritating as hell. And
Oh
I'm still
Lord.
getting to know the two new ladies. Is the one in the red Cynthia?
Yes, I like Cynthia.
I like her so far. I'm still kind of getting to know her, but it was the dude that kept wanting to talk to her with the dark skin one. I can't think of his
Yes,
name.
Andre. Oh my
I
God.
don't know about Andre. I
But
don't
the
know.
three
I
different
don't know.
hairstyles.
That was
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
only
I
man
think
I
he be
traded
wearing a
to.
little bun or knot or something on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Ugh.
don't know. I don't know if
Him,
he gonna
right?
be it for her.
Yeah,
Hmm.
him.
I don't
Yeah.
like him. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad you brought that up. They did something I didn't really like where they had all of the men meet with, Cynthia by herself and then
You
brought in
said you
Jody.
didn't like that.
I didn't because I was just kind of like, I got the point of it, but I don't know, just something about it was like, why did she have to sit there and be like round table questioned by all six of these men? It just felt weird. But then
I liked it.
when I saw them do it with Fabrice, I was like, okay, I can see that. But like in real life, I feel like I probably would have felt a little uncomfortable if
Hmm.
everybody intends to date me and I'm sitting at a table with six dudes. Like
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
I'm also very you know, y'all know I be worrying about people. I am. I'm naturally somebody that just be like, prove to me you're not creepy because you get
Right.
your breezes. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm like. I'm always in the mindset of prove to me that you're not creepy. But other than that, like you put me in a room with like six dudes and no other women at the table, it just kind of felt, she handled herself well. I love the way
That's
she
exactly what I'm thinking. I'm
but it
like, oh, she
seemed,
handled them questions, baby.
oh,
She
she
was
did.
like,
That's what I
she
was getting.
didn't mind. I love that
Andre.
she wasn't intimidated by all of them, although they was trying to throw the questions out like an interrogation, as Miss Destiny would say. But I think she did a good job. I
I
was like,
liked
come
it
on, Miss
because she
T.
didn't get stuck
She
with
did,
one
but I want to put
person.
that on
Usually,
record.
whenever they set you up with somebody so early on, they end up getting stuck too early. So once she was able to talk to
Mhm.
everybody at once, I was like, okay, cool. She coming in like even playing field.
Because they overdid
I
that with
agree.
Cornelius and Camille. I was like, so he ain't gonna go on no other dates. Oh, so y'all gonna see
Hmm.
him on a date with one other person. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So
What
yeah,
y'all
I
think
like the
about her
setup.
submissive comment?
Listen, I'm glad you brought that up
Okay, you was
because
gonna talk about it.
yes,
Okay.
the whole back and forth with Andre was weird for me
Mhm.
because she was like, I can be submissive. She was like, I loved her, but it also gives you think you sound smart, but essentially, like the more we have this conversation, the more I find it problematic. But she
Mhm.
was asked if she can be submissive. She's like, yes, I can be submissive, but I'm not gonna let anybody play with me. I'm a black woman. I'm a single mother. I have to, make sure nobody is coming to my space fucking with me. But if I have a man that I can trust, then yes, I will be submissive because I don't want to wear, your pants. I know what it is, but I just kind of feel like that whole conversation is just stupid at this point to me
Oh,
Triggering.
because
thank you, thank you,
all it
Yes.
sounds like is, are you going to acquiesce to me when I push you
thank
hard
you,
enough? Are you
thank
gonna bitch
you.
up? Like, let me know now. Can I control you? That's what the
Oh,
submissive thing sounds like to me at this point, especially
me
when
too.
men talk about themselves as being alpha males, because that really annoys me because you think that sounds good, but essentially you're comparing yourself to a fucking animal. And we would like for y'all to act like responsible adults before we get into this. Can you be a alpha? Can you be with an alpha male? Can you submit? Why are you asking me if I can give up my power to you on the first fucking date? What is that about?
What is
That
that? And
that's
I wish they would have left the alpha male in 2022.
Oh,
Don't
for
bring it here. And here's the gag. It's so funny that they sitting up here asking her those questions and about submissiveness and all this and that, but yet y'all bitch up when y'all having a conversation with Corvelia. When
mm,
Corvelia call y'all to the front or whatever the case is and put her standards on the table, then y'all want to like cringe up and be like, oh, well,
she
she
took
kind
it.
of act like this and she's that and that. Y'all can't even handle that. But you sitting up here talking about how much of an alpha male you are and you going to ask this lady if she going to be submissive. Like, shut up. Retire it, please. Please let it go.
I
Okay,
wish she
another
would
thing
have just
about
told him
Andre.
no.
Go ahead.
I feel like anytime somebody asks, I wish she just would have told him no, just because it was a stupid ass
Clear
question.
cut.
And I feel
It
like
was.
if somebody asks that question, it's like danger, red flag.
We
Just
didn't
tell
hear
his ass
Jonique's
no.
response, and we didn't hear Jonique's
Yeah, we
response. I
didn't.
wanted to hear
Uh-uh.
her response because she was giving like, you know what I'm saying? You know. But there was one other thing I wanted to talk about with Andre that really bothered me, y'all. When he asked Cynthia if she likes light skin or dark skin, light eyes or dark eyes. Like, nigga, I don't know if you know, but y'all are the only ones that think like that. Black women, especially black women that present themselves the way Cynthia does, nobody gives a fuck about your skin tone, sir. Like, nobody cares about your skin tone, sir. Only when it shows up in a negative way related to your personality. So obviously, Andre is somebody that's been told he's dark and ugly because
Oh,
he
you think
then asked, no, he asked, can you be with an ugly man? Is because he feels he's ugly. And then you ask, could you be light eyes, light skin, dark skin? It's because you feel like you're an ugly, dark skinned man, and you want to know if
so?
these women are going to be attracted to an ugly, dark skinned man. You're the only one that feels
Versus
that
light
way.
skin, blue eyes.
And
Yeah,
he trying to check that, see who all he got to compete with,
exactly.
or whether he should not compete at all because he already know
Yeah,
he's not your
I'm not even
type.
gonna try with you because you don't want nobody that look like me. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the only reason you feel like that is because as a man, you feel like that about women. I think a lot of these men come on these shows once they've exasperated all of their preferences, and now they
Yeah.
want to try to find them the smart black woman that's gonna Michelle Obama their life, and they come on shows like this looking for that. And so, I think he was coming from the standpoint of the way men think about women. Y'all really do feel like, oh, I don't want a dark skinned woman. I want a light skinned woman because that's more feminine. Y'all really do say and believe stupid shit like that. Women,
Hmm.
we may have our preferences, but if you show us something that we like, those preferences go out the door. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only a fucking preference, not a
Mm.
mandatory thing.
Right.
All as roommates, but still society has taught them that women can be gold diggers for what? Like, oh boy, from Love After Lockup, that's my $5,000 bed. What? It don't even look like she paid that much for rent. Quit playing. What's wrong with y'all? Like, I don't know why men are taught that women are going after these imaginary pockets that are empty.
Mm. Mm. Yikes.
I
But
mean, no
yeah,
shade to him specifically, but this show, I feel like be highlighting so much about like just men in general, women too. Because I feel like when you get into that age range, that's why the show be so tiring. You get to the points where you get to these toxic ass alpha male men,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get to the women that are like, "Oh, I'm 37. I'll submit. Give me somebody." That's why I like Corvea so much because she's able to call out the bullshit. Because you see women come on the show, they say exactly what they want, and then it's the numbers start to dwindle down. They like, he don't want kids. I'll do this. He want this. I'll do that. I'm assertive.
Right.
I'll be submissive. Don't do that. I don't like that.
they're bullying Corvea for being honest and upfront because she was in the bottom. And I thought that was very peculiar considering the fact that a lot of the men, when they're around her, seem to like her. She
Mm-hmm.
had an interaction with Blake and Lyndon, but I feel like she steps on y'all insecurities. You feel a way about the fact that you have a roommate. So her saying that she don't want a man with a roommate made you feel a way. The other dude, you want Blake, you want people to be with you regardless of the fact that they want kids. You want a woman to acquiesce what she wants just to be with you if you want to be with her. And she's letting you know she's not gonna do that. So now she's in the bottom and Z goes home. But I feel like Z should have went home because Z needs to meet somebody organically and she needs to go to therapy because the way she talked about, oh, you want to date me? Then I'll date you. Like, no, you need to go. And then also I feel like when Blake and her went on that date, he was talking to her, asking her questions, and she really did. It seemed like she didn't know who she was. He
She
kept asking
didn't.
like she didn't know who she was. And I feel like that's probably because she's always been about making men feel good. So you don't know who you are because you probably haven't taken any time.
Right.
What you
Whoever
do
they
know
want
how
her
to
to be.
do. Yeah, you're gonna do whatever
Absolutely.
you want to come off soft and giggly and all of that type of shit. So I feel like she don't know who she is. But also I felt like, did we learn anything about Blake? Or did he just show up there to ask her questions? Because we didn't learn anything further about him either.
I was
Yeah, that's
surprised he
true.
acknowledged that though. When they was at the men's lounge,
Mhm.
he said maybe I did conduct our conversation like an interview
He
though.
did. Yeah.
So I guess he knew what he was doing because he said,
Yeah.
"Who
Yeah.
are you? Tell me who you are." Who
Yeah, I
asked
didn't
that?
like that. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Who are you, nigga?
Hilarious.
What
Hilarious.
One other moment I want to point out before we move on.
Mhm.
Tony and Marcia went on a date. First of all, him looking like Willie from Day 26 is hilarious to me. This is really
Hilarious.
cool with his brother. And Marcia gives black girl cha cha cha. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
Jackie Harry vibes or whatever.
Mhm.
you know, Sandra. I'm sorry. Anyway, they went on a date and it was something, and I know y'all gonna be mad at me about this, but it's something I noticed with men whenever they want to pull Jesus out of their pockets and they want to pray with you, and it just feels like a manipulation to make you think they're deeper than they really are, because them believing in Jesus doesn't mean that they're not going to cheat on you or disrespect you. Like, them believing in Jesus doesn't save you from them being a bad guy
Yep.
in
That's the
relationships.
forgiveness.
Right. So when they throw out that they, want to pray and all of this, and you eat that shit up like, oh, I need me a man of God. And it's just like, yeah, because the men of God, what do they do exactly? Talk to me. Because a lot of the men of God I know cheat. Okay. A lot of the
Child
men of God I know
abuse.
lie. They like to steal from people. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because if we look at any of these preachers online, they like attention. They like to run their mouth. They like to get attention from the women's in the church. So it's like there aren't really that good examples of men who use church as a way to get women. It's always seen to me as something that's manipulative. So when they had that moment, I was like, am I the only one that peaked? Like, oh, it feels so good to pray together. It's just like, right, because that means he's not going to cheat on you because y'all pray together.
I think she just did the most. He was talking about how I do agree with what you're saying. Just because he claimed he's saved, don't mean he ain't gonna do what he want to do. But he kept that same energy in that last episode, or either the first one with Morgan, I think it was, who he met. I think she was too easily like amused by the fact that he was praying. Like, oh my gosh, I'm just so consumed by him. I'm like, girl, just calm down. That don't mean like he is the one just because he did this. Lord, thank you for this food. So
Yes.
I'm gonna keep my eye on him. For her, she did too much.
It's given I'm at that age where I need to be overly excited by niggas doing the bare minimum.
Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I clicked off by accident. Yeah, I ain't really think too much of that situation because I'm like, y'all acting like y'all really, really like each other, and come next week, y'all gonna be on to some whole new people because that's how it always go.
Mhm.
And I'm chuckling at the whole prayer because I was looking at it sideways. She was like, okay. That I was like, girl, don't be hyped about that. Like it's just a prayer. I feel like he fake as hell right now, but you can't see through. Like you can't see. Like it's crazy because some people give a very calm aura, and then some people walk you into the room and you just automatically know they full of. He kind of gives me that. I
Mhm.
think he's automatically full of. But we'll
Yeah.
see how it's gonna play out.
The
Like I
suits,
just
the suits are too tight. The hair is too colored.
I was about to say
run.
that. Maybe it's the
He makes me.
vest.
He made me think of maybe that's what it. Because I'm thinking about Run. I can't remember what episode.
Oh, Ron with
I
the
mean
Alexis
season.
slide. That was like
Hmm.
3 seasons ago at this point, I think.
He makes me think of Run. You know, they keep they always get the same type of people. Because the girl that just
They
got
do.
eliminated made me think of dang, I forgot the lady on the last show, AZ or
AC.
AZ.
The one who had no, not the
The
teacher.
real quiet one. She used to be into like the crystals and all of that stuff.
Oh, she was the
Yeah.
season before the Ace.
Yeah.
Ace, that's her Ace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she made me think of Ace, the one that
Yeah.
ended up leaving. You know, they
Yeah.
get the same folks every time.
They do.
This
Same
girl makes you
same
think of Ace.
personality.
The one they eliminated.
Oh, okay, Z.
Ace
Mm-hmm.
and
He is.
Z. That's interesting.
Huh.
I
A
don't know
to
what that
Z.
is, right?
Mhm.
A to Z. Okay, so because a lot of us have decided that we were not going to like give y'all no full review for no damn Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I didn't make any
Oh
notes for
my
it.
god. I
Um
didn't take notes either.
like nobody got time for that. So we're gonna go through that quickly and then we're gonna get into Love and Marriage DC trailer before we get to Real Housewives of Potomac, just so
Okay.
y'all that's how we're gonna run it. Okay. So the thing for me from the Love and Hip, I'm a child, not Love and Hip Hop. Hi, they'll be mad if they hear me say that, child. It is a slip of the tongue, okay? Love and Marriage
Not if,
Huntsville.
when they hear you say that.
Okay, listen. If when they're gonna be mad, and they're always mad. I thought she was already a member. Thank you for becoming a member again, Claudette. So main things from Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion show.
Mhm.
Destiny and Mel go back and forth. Everybody acts like Mel was to blame for Madani. It wasn't really Miss Wanda. Mel is the one that, insinuated the situation by showing up to an event she wasn't invited to. We found out that Tiffany was pregnant. We already knew that. Tisha's comment during the scene where she was like, storyline, like, it would, to me, it was just, and then after listening to interviews that Destiny has done, because we're going to get this main conversation is going to be about Destiny's interview with Anthony Lofties. Okay, that's going to be the main focus of our conversation about them. But I wanted to mention some things from that, because I was like, it sounds like y'all all had the same conversation. Y'all are all using the same language, the same words over and over again. And she did that. Destiny did that on the reunion show as well as in this interview with Tisha, this storyline shit. Mel has never needed to use any of y'all for a storyline. I don't know where y'all get that from, but that's
Mm.
like real weird to me. I think y'all are only saying that to gaslight everybody that's been saying y'all use Mel for a storyline this whole time. So like that's a nice try, but not good enough. Carlos crying. What did y'all think?
I start smiling.
Crying on
Jamie,
what?
what you think?
Well, crying on what part? The part about Martell? Wasn't he
Yeah.
crying about
Martell.
Yeah,
something else?
yeah, not about Kimmy and his mom. That's understandable. We get that. We don't even need to discuss that.
Him crying about Martell, that whole scene for me kind of made me almost get teary eyed because it not only was Carlos crying, but Mel was crying as well. So I just took it as we see one thing of Martell from how we watch the show, right? What we see, what he may show us on social media. The relationship that he has with Carlos may be completely different than what it is that we see. So Carlos feeling connected to more information than we have and having a relationship with Martell and him crying, I was like, okay, maybe maybe he knows some stuff that we may not know because of their relationship, which is why he's crying. I don't know. That's just what I thought about it. I feel like Martell wasn't being really honest, and I wasn't understanding why he just went like, "I miss you, Mel." You know, I mean, it ain't gonna change
He
nothing.
did
She ain't
do that
coming
though,
back.
almost.
Yeah, almost right. And that's what Carlos was trying to tell him. Like, say, "I miss my family." Don't say that, because then it's like you
Hmm.
still trying to kind of like dismiss it and not truly acknowledge your feelings and stuff. But I mean, I ain't mind it too much. I was just like, okay, he probably knows something. What y'all thinking?
I thought it was just me feeling that way, but I'm laughing because when I was doing my review and I got ready to talk about it, majority of the comments was like, "Ah, Carlos, he doing this, he over us, he it was funny to me, but I really did think it was genuine. But I kind of hesitated because I thought about how in the previous seasons he would get to the reunion and he would ask male questions like, "Oh, did you feel like you were enough?" or things like that. But I don't think he did that because he was truly against her. I think he did it because he knew it would make great TV. So
Mm,
the part of me is kind of just like, how do I know that two things can't be true? He feels this way about Mel and Martell, but he also want to make great TV, right?
mm-hmm,
Um, I what made me sad was Mel sad because I know that she was crying, but she's crying because she's thinking about what it used to be. Martell used to be that guy that like she's literally mourning him as a loss. He's not the same person anymore.
mm-hmm,
So I said it was an unfavorable reunion for her because in that same moment, when Carlos, came off of that crying scene, she circled back to I never thought in a million years I would have kids with somebody who I don't even like. So it was like, ooh, like damn, gut punch. We just had a vulnerable moment, and you still like, yeah, fuck that man, right?
mm-hmm,
But in reality, it's like, wouldn't you keep that same energy? Because if you think about the person who he used to be, which is this person that she loved, the person that she's mourning, and
mm-hmm.
now the person who continuously wants her to suffer because she left him, I feel her on that. Trying to take the kids. So the scene with Carlos, I think, was he really felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
But when Bill came back around, like, I don't like that man. At the time, I was like, damn, but that's because I'm using my brain and how I would manage my relationships with normal people. Martell,
Mm-hmm.
we can't apply that same logic to what we see with Mel and Martell.
Mm.
I feel like, okay, so first of all, I'm seeing a lot of people are pointing out that there is something to be said about Martell blowing up at the reunion, but they cut it out. It happened during the
Mhm.
break, missed it. And that was the reason why he was emotional, because he was responding to Martell completely losing his shit. And I this is the thing for me. I feel like Carlos I think I think Martell is attractive. And I think when somebody is charismatic and attractive, people want to see them.
Miss
People people
I
want
didn't know where we was going. I didn't know where we was going.
no, because I'm trying not to say what I want
I
to
was trying to put
I
say.
my
know what
seatbelt
you finna
on.
say. I know what you
Okay,
finna
I'm gonna just
say.
say it then. I feel like because you want fuck son, it's easy for you to see him as a victim. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I think Martell is attractive to a lot of people, and I think Carlos' response to Martell is much like the women that think Mel is so stupid because she wasn't, sticking around to be hurt by this fine ass man. Because she should just be lucky that this fine ass man was there taking care of the kids and all of this shit. Let him have his little girlfriend. Let him cheat in peace. Like, this is how y'all feel a lot, and a lot of you gay men feel like that about women too. Y'all have that attitude of let the man cheat in peace and let him do what he gonna do. You want to be with him, be with the man. Like
Mm.
y'all have a very side chick mindset about these niggas. Like, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. And I think whenever Mel is having this air about herself, like I'm better than this shit and he didn't deserve me. There's always somebody like Carlos or somebody that wants to like knock her down a few pegs, therefore questioning, would you really have chosen Mel if you had met Ariane first? That was a completely disrespectful question. Then asking Mel, do you think you were enough for him? When Mel circled back around this time and said nothing would have ever been enough, I wish she would have said that the first time, because essentially nothing would have ever been enough because Martell is wounded. Martell is wounded by whatever Marlene and that daddy did. And he looks for, and a lot of men do this because they didn't get the love and nurturing from the mothers or the people in their lives like they were supposed to. They look for that in their women. And when the women don't acquiesce to that, now the woman is the bad guy because she's not parenting me. She's not mothering me like I want her to. And I just kind of feel like everybody just expects Mel to go along because it makes everybody feel comfortable. And I think she's at a point where she's refusing to do
They
that.
want her to do easy for them.
When Carlos, yeah. Listen, somebody look as a gay man, Bondy, I agree. Listen, I don't mean to hurt nobody. I'm glad you agree. I don't mean to hurt nobody's feelings, but it always gives you just you like that's where you at with it. You're attracted to him, you want him to like you, and because of that you are willing to see him as a victim in his own villainhood. Like he perpetrated this thing. I haven't seen anybody cry for Mel. That's why I said I'm gonna do that compilation. Because I haven't seen anybody cry for Mel. Nobody cries for Mel.
Nobody.
But y'all want to let that cry because Martell fucked up his family. He's not even crying about it. And y'all are crying about it. Mel is not crying for the same reason that Carlos is crying. Let's be clear. And that's another thing. When she was crying, I felt she was crying because she probably still loves him. She wishes he was the person that she thought he was. But every time, and this is another thing I want to go back to because everybody dismissed what she said. The nigga is trying to take her kids from her.
That part.
How you want her to be nice? How you want her to care about his feelings right now? This nigga's trying to take my kids from me, and I just took him on a vacation, him and his mom, with my kids on my dime, and he's now telling me that I don't have enough to take care of my children? So he want to take them from me?
Hear me now. And then said she got too many people watching the kids, but went to Destin and said he'll trust, or whoever he was talking to, it was either in Destin or when he was talking to Destiny. He said he trusts Mel's judgment when it comes to choosing another mate. So if you trust her judgment with that, why you not trusting her judgment when it comes down to who watch our kids? And if now he coming to his social media apologizing, saying that or at least he didn't apologize. He said he's already apologized a lot. So my thing is, if you feel extremely sorry or whatever the case is, I think he could have apologized again. My question was, are you going to take the full custody off the table now, since you're so sorry and you're regrettable for, your actions or whatever? Are you going to remove it? What's going to happen?
Situations like what we've seen Kimmy treat Martell the same way Carlos did on the stage also. That's the reason why he will never fully recover from who he is today. He won't recover from that because people feel bad for him because people used to women just like punishing and then going back. And now that Mel like, nah. People mad. They're mad at her.
I wish Mel would.
But it's low key the same thing in all her relationships. They mad at her because she doesn't, do what's easiest and continue to be friends with people at the drop of like something feel funny. I'm not fucking with it.
True. So with that being said, we can move on from there. I did, feel like Tisha annoyed me, but she always does because she has these little moments where she makes comments that just are so stupid and not true. And it's just like, girl, and then you have this like contempt about it. Like, girl, she just trying to use you for a storyline. Like, girl, get the fuck out of here. Because Mel, it has a dark soul and she's what she said, a devil in sheep's clothing. It's like, bitch, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, to be specific. So thank you. But also, bitch, like if anybody knows about a dark soul, it's Wanda. And that's what I think, and that's what I can't stand. Like, bitch, your mama has like, I don't even like the way your mama treats you, bitch. And you don't even see. Like, you want to talk about Mel? Stop projecting. Felicia, thank you for the super chat. Mel's words were the truth. When you have that type of marriage, it creates a large disdain By the way, she is not stupid for leaving. It was essential for her and the kids' peace. I mean, we saw what was going on. Martell wasn't gonna stop cheating. He was just trying
He
to find
wasn't.
better ways to get away with it. And that lady said, I'm tired. Like, I don't understand, why everybody feels like she's supposed to stay and just deal with that shit. But moving on. Destiny did an interview with Anthony Lofties. Okay. And for the sake of, you know, enjoying this live, I'm gonna pull this shit up and we're gonna watch just a little bit, just a little snippet of his interview. Shout out to Anthony Lofties. I'm gonna pull him up so y'all make sure y'all go and support him because y'all know I can't stand motherfuckers acting like because you put their stuff up on YouTube that you trying to steal their content and all of that, which I don't think he would do that, but I'm just saying, make sure
Yeah, I
y'all
don't think
go
he'll do
follow
that.
him. Okay, so hold up, because I want to make sure I pull up the right one. Okay, right around 22 minutes, I think, is when things might have got a little interesting. Okay, I'm about to share my screen with y'all. Okay.
I think it started with the coffee shop scene, the ambush of being called a liar, and then
So she said, I just want to stop right there because I missed that the first time. Did she say that her and Mel's relationship started to go downhill at the coffee shop?
Yeah, and she called it an ambush. That's why my whole face kind of turned. It looked like it was a scene where y'all agreed to meet at the coffee shop, and now it's an ambush.
And she knew what she was coming there for. So I don't. If y'all haven't talked since the reunion, and it's like y'all first meet up, you knew what you was coming there for. So what do you mean ambush?
And she was already mad about being didn't she wasn't invited to the what was it, y'all? The Christmas party, the Christmas slumber party? Wasn't
Yeah.
she mad about that before?
That's when
Didn't that
she
happen?
started saying Mel was a bad friend because she reached out. I think they talked about something after the incident with her and Tisha, but then the very next week or a few weeks later, I believe that's when the party happened, and
Mhm.
that's when Destiny started to refer to Mel as like a best friend. I'm sorry, a
A
bad
bad
friend
friend.
or something.
Okay, so let's listen some more to Anthony.
this whole narrative and storyline of me talking about her behind closed doors. And then, the social media stuff. It just was a culmination of a lot of things during a time in my life where it was like, I don't need nothing else, especially when it's not even real.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
The coffee shop, when she actually read you the text messages between you and her?
Yeah, some of the text messages she read between us, yeah.
Okay, so was it that we didn't see?
Out to me. I never said that we text. That was accurate. I said that on the stage at the reunion. What I said is we haven't spoken to each other. Mm-hmm. And so the text read, hey, are you disconnected from the world? Because, hey, I don't have a problem with somebody disconnected. But I'm just checking on you. And I didn't hear anything back for like over a week or a week. And then it was like, hey, are you okay? Or are you good? And then it was communication maybe a day or so later. So it was like, don't act like I was just like bombarding you. I was just trying to make sure you was good. If you were setting a boundary or you needed space, I was good with that. I'm just checking on. That's what normal people do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what y'all. I
don't like that she does that. Like that's what normal people do. Like stop trying to act like you are a better person than Mel because you handle situations in a certain way. And that's another thing I noticed when everybody was arguing about Mel putting it out there that she gave her money. It's like, why does that? First of all, nobody felt like you were thirsty in all of this and you just needed Mel because you needed help during your divorce. Nobody felt like that. You made that up in your mind and then proceeded to act towards Mel as if she had actually done something to you. I'm trying to find because there's a portion where he pulls up actual clips.
Because we were all using the word resource. She said the word resource at the reunion. It's so funny to me whenever I hear like certain like the same language being used coming from the reviews to the stage. But we didn't know we didn't know what the situation was. We just saw how thirsty she was to cling on to Mel when she was like, let me be a part of your village. And when everybody starts saying resource, she started sharing all her insecurities.
And speaking of which, when I keep because she did this at the reunion, that's what normal people do, or that's what real women do, or whatever.
Yeah.
It grinds my gears, and I'm not gonna be too mean with this. It's just like when we want to talk about what normal people do, normal reality stars actually share their life when they come on there too.
Bloop.
Okay. They do. And if you want to talk about what real women do when it came to you and Stormy, let's not overlook how Stormy practically begged you for your friendship, because that's what it was, because you weren't at that place to give it to her. So at what point was it when
Wasn't
it
nothing
was something
real.
that real women do? At what point did it become that?
Never.
So I guess
Never.
you would say that Stormy was the real woman in that situation.
I mean, it
Not
felt
even
that way.
Stormy shit.
But when we
Not
play this, I do kind of want to go to DJ Richie Sky's video, if you don't mind, Bondy, with Carlos, because towards the end, he said he not playing with people no more. And
Yeah.
it is making me think that Destiny is either not coming back to the show, or she's going to be in a very limited capacity like Wanda. I don't know, but that's the vibe.
Okay, so we gonna send me the link, please, Jamie, in the DM, so I can pull it up quickly.
Yeah, I try to
and
give
we
you the
gonna-
timestamp too.
I gotta turn
Thank
the
you.
sound on because every time you do it, I can't see it.
So we about to run this because this was my favorite part.
Because he don't want it. He want his cake and eat it too. I love Tell, that's my boy, but you can't keep doing that.
Because at the end of the day, it's the kids.
It
Like,
is.
you have to think about the kids in all of this.
Yep, I do.
The Martell show. Your pain is yours, and you bring it up and then you lash out.
Yeah.
So let me go back because I want y'all to hear the question. I'm sorry.
And they brought it over.
Okay. All right. Do you regret getting in the middle between Martell and Melanie's relationship, even though you was friends with both of them during the time?
Do y'all really feel like I got in the middle of their relationship?
Do you regret getting in between them a little, like just trying to get everybody to come together?
No, because that's what friends do.
All right. So I want to play a small clip, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna talk about it.
I'll play a small clip here.
I gotta turn the
Love
sound on
to
because
see
every
it.
time you do it, I can't see it.
Yeah, get your audio right, Destiny, so you
Because he
can
don't
hear.
want it. He want his cake and eat it too. I love Tell, that's my boy, but you can't keep doing that.
Because at the end of the day, it's the kids.
It
Like,
is.
you have to think about the kids in all of this.
Yep, I do.
The Martell show. Your pain is yours, and you bring it up and then you lash out.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. You're very passive aggressive with her, and then you know she's gonna react. So then it turns into the same.
Watch y'all gonna react. Watch y'all say that's
Back here, y'all trying to give me a damn drink, and y'all in here yelling and fighting. When Mel and Martell are going at it, I typically zone out because it's a lot of you did and I did it. So I don't know. Like, I just really, my goal is to separate them, which is a job. It was real interesting because she said you're friends with my ops, Martell and Tisha, and you and Martell talk on the phone every day. I said, good and damn well I don't talk to Martell every day.
right.
When did it begin where you and Mel fell out? Because when you first came onto the show, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, okay, I'm cool with this. I can deal with her. What
That smile, she hot.
exactly happened for that friendship to basically start just to diminish?
I want to go back to why did we play those clips?
Because it shows you going back and forth.
Oh, okay, being a bodyguard. Okay. Now, what was your question?
What exactly
Like, come on.
happened for you and Mel's friendship to diminish?
I think it started with the coffee shop scene, the ambush of being called a liar. And
Okay, so that's how we got there. Now, y'all can watch the rest of this man's interview for yourselves, okay? Because he did a really good interview. He was pulling clips in from every which way, okay, to prove the inconsistencies in the way Destiny responds to things. We've asked her over and over again in our interview what the issue was with Mel, and we could never get like a specific thing. And that's the thing. She couldn't even give us a specific thing for real in this interview or on the reunion, but then she'll like pull something out where I feel like it's not really, it's not really what it is. She make it seem a certain way. Like I pointed out how when somebody asks her a question, she'll rephrase the question and then answer the way she rephrased it versus answering the question that was asked of her.
Yeah.
But I'm about to go to Carlos. So y'all tell me what y'all think about
Like what
that.
she said, bodyguard.
But what did y'all think?
Oh yeah, I agree with you. She did that whenever she said, "Why'd you show the clips?" Oh, me playing bodyguard. Like you show the clips to prove that I was being a bodyguard, not necessarily acknowledging the fact that he just said, "How do you feel about being in the middle?" That's what the clips was for. It was so many other times I thought of that actually, I'm sure he didn't have the time to capture, but still. Another question that came to mind, they showed her in Martell's apartment in that scene. I wanted to ask y'all where Martell got the space for 5 kids if he planned on getting full custody.
Help me.
It sounds like he really don't want full custody. It sounds like he really just want to troll.
Interesting. I didn't hear everything that she said, but I will say this. You know, watching Destiny do different interviews over the past year or whatever, um, I think I see or I have a clear-eyed view as to how difficult she is when it comes to production. And I'm sure I've said that before. Um, it did seem like she didn't really want to do the interview, and it's like it doesn't necessarily help your brand. Like if you don't have to do them. You don't. I do think that Destiny has been through a lot in her life. I'm sure she's probably really like for real outside of the TV show. She might be like a really cool, dope person, but I really think she might, if she's not coming back to the show, at this time, if that is something, I think she needs to like really go and get the healing and just like really work on whatever she needs to work on, because oftentimes it's like it's one thing for people to say, oh, that's how it is when that's how they edit it. That's how they edit it. But then when you do your lives, you do these interviews, it's given the same type of energy. Like I don't know. It seems like you just be, I ain't gonna put that label on her. Just go do the work is what I'll say.
I was
Go
about
do
to
the
say,
work
it's
because
giving you need to be on the floor. You know, when you work in a fast food job and you kind of just standing there wasting time, you
mhm,
pick up a mop.
yeah, I hate that. It's not giving what she thought. Mhm.
Okay, so
Can you tell us your luck?
I just
You
posted
said, oh, you said good luck.
live. Listen, thank you for that. We about to play Carlos part.
Okay.
But I just wanted, I have started. This is the link. Okay, it's in there because y'all, y'all act like y'all can't just look at the YouTube and see who it is. They're talking about who is it? It's on the screen, baby. Just rewind it and you'll see. Y'all kill me, but I know y'all be like low key trying to insinuate that we don't want to give people their credit for their videos. So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and put that link in there. Stop
Oh
playing
yeah,
with
definitely.
Stop playing.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and pull up. Let's go ahead and pull it up because Carlos said what now?
Where do you see Destiny going next season with?
Okay, so do we see that this is DJ Richie Sky's YouTube page? This is DJ Richie Sky's YouTube page.
Her now telling us that she's going to be an open book.
Well, look, I think Destiny has to live up to what she says and give that to the audience. And one thing about me, I welcome my cast to be an open book. But I also know that sometimes time may not be on your side, or sometimes you really in your own life may not be ready to do that. And I respect that. One thing about me and my relationship with my cast, we don't force them to talk about stuff. You know, one thing I do say to them though is you did sign up to do a reality show, show your reality. And I think that's because we all have a job. It's sort of like being a telemarketer and you show up to work saying, child, I don't feel like calling these folks today. I don't feel like doing it. Your boss would say, but this is your job. You can't get away saying, child, I ain't got time to tell her or market. I'm tired. You will get fired on the spot, right? What bothers me is people take advantage of being on a reality show. So you mad that the production, we're asking you to show your real life. You say to us, I don't want to show that. And that's why I was so compassionate and passionate about Kimmy. You have a woman who's going through breast cancer, chemo, stood on that stage for 15 hours, Richie, never once asked for a break, never once said, do you mind if I go back to the room to take a nap? Because I would have done anything she wanted because I would have understood. My mom passed from breast cancer. I know that sometimes you're tired. You get sleepy when you're going through chemo, especially. I would have given Kimmy anything she wanted. Richie, she never once asked for anything. She did not complain. How dare any reality star moving forward complain about giving their real lives? Kimmy set the gold standard of how a reality star shows up and gives what they're able to give. And I'm telling you, Kimmy changed my perspective on reality television in the sense of I'm not playing with people anymore. I'm at the point in my career where it's a privilege to be on a Carlos King produced show, which is why my DMs are flooded with
Period.
applications that I haven't even distributed. I can tell you 95% of former and current reality stars beg me to give them a show. And I'm not saying that to sound cute. It's
Right.
a lot of blue checks are in my DMs begging for me to take them off the
Oh no,
current
it's
show and put them
real.
on mine.
It's real, Carlos.
Because what they noticed is Carlos loves his cast, and he makes sure that your businesses are at the forefront, and he makes sure that whether or not you have a messy life, we're going to show the messy life, but we're also going to make sure that you are able to tell it your way and do it in a way that also promotes your business. And that's the reason why I'm at this point in my career where I'm not begging anybody anymore to do their job. If you don't want to do it, then bow out gracefully. And allow other people on the show to do their job. And don't cloud the production. Because the last thing I will say is 99% of the time, the producers and the crew members, that's the camera operators, the audio people, you know, Richie, you've been around production and been on a reality show.
I got to stop him because I got his point, but I need to check this before I forget. Even though I respect what he's saying about Kimmy, I feel like it's low-key bullshit. And the reason why I say that is because even though going through cancer on a reality show, I imagine it's so difficult. But I also feel like it's easy to show somebody I'm going through a sickness versus showing them that my new husband is still tricking and doing shit that I'm not really comfortable with and not treating me the best. Because let's keep it a buck. Before the cancer diagnoses, they weren't sharing a lot, and they were doing the same shit the Scots were doing, the other Scots, trying to keep shit on the low and not talk about things. So I feel like we're completely ignoring the fact that it is easier when it comes to face value, when it comes to how you judge somebody. Like this basically, you know, the way he talked about Kimmy now erases all of the years of being not so open with what's going on with you and Maurice. But now because she's showing, you know, her sickness and everything, now she's completely absolved. That's the reason why it's okay and easier for you to talk about that, because it'll overshadow anything else. So even though I appreciate her being honest and showing us this, I also feel like I would be remiss if I did not mention the fact that it's easier for you to talk about this than it is for you to talk about how Maurice treats you.
I actually took something different from that. I think you have I think your points are valid. I just think in this moment here, he was just relating that a woman has an illness and has not complained. You ain't got nothing going on, been on this season and ain't even trying to give us nothing, but got the audacity to give production a headache. No, ma'am. So I love the. Yeah, I'm glad he eating. I said, dang, you really gotta have Carlos fired up to even say any of this on this interview, because he usually goes around it. Just like last week, he did an interview and said, I won't name anybody, but he kind of explained the situation. Yeah. This time, he knew exactly. I mean, we know exactly who he's talking about. He's telling us that this person got mad. He wouldn't even give us that type of, like, just saying somebody got mad is enough to be like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, your days are numbered.
You saw how she
why
was
is there a pillow next to you instead of a man?
He said what?
He said, why is there a pillow next to you on the stage instead of a man? Shade. He said, that's why only these 6 of you are out here on this stage. Shade. Like, it's clear that he is talking about Destiny. I have to agree with the both of y'all. Bonnie, my first thought process, I mean, I understood what he was saying, Jami, with the, it's people out here with real shit going on and you want to complain. I understood that. But in the same breath, when he was like, Kimmy is the epitome of, what a reality star should be,
I agree.
I was taken aback as well, because I don't know that her husband is currently cheating on her, but I think that he definitely is involved with whatever they got going, whatever the other men on the show have going on. And she tries her best to, play on the defense for her husband when it comes to those conversations, even more than he does. So yeah,
and she did that at the reunion.
A lot. I agree. It's that epitome part, the epitome of a
Yeah.
nah, bro. Because let's be honest, neither one of the Scotts was really given. I mean, they had the Kiowa situation in season 1, a little bit season 2, but especially that. And you know what's crazy? If you really look at it, in my opinion, although Scotts 2.0 ain't really give us a lot, I feel like with the Cancer and the Kiowa, they gave us more than what 1.0 was giving us.
Oh
Because
yeah,
they
for
have
sure.
literally been riding off of Melody and Martell. So for Tisha to say a storyline, no, ma'am.
Girl. Okay.
No, you need to go
Shit,
back and rewatch your seasons.
Jamie, rewind. Say what you said again. Fuck, because something you said made me think of something. Oh yeah. I'm
You
gonna
got
sound weird. I'm gonna sound fucked up. I know. But something feels like when he said that about Kimmy, it was shade to Mel. Because if
Really?
anybody is the
mm,
epitome of a
mhm,
reality star being open and sharing their lives, and like, because if we think about it, Mel has been sharing this shit in real time. Back in the day, reality stars would film and tape and have a moment to like gather themselves before the shit comes out in air.
mhm.
The way
Mm-hmm.
they tape, she's literally
Film.
film, and then talking
No
about it
breaks.
as it's going on, being open with people and talk. I mean, at the very beginning of this, that was so hard to me, to be honest, about the fact that you get cheated on
Mhm,
again. That was so hard to be honest about. And at the very beginning, she laid that shit out on the table. And therefore, I think, forced a lot of shit to come out. They all said it, that Mel was the one that put a lot of shit out there on the table for herself. So nobody had to really go digging because Mel came and gave it all to you. So when he said that, even though it may not have been meant that way, I low key feel like it's a thing that I've noticed people like to do when they're trying to shade somebody, is uplift somebody else. It's a way
mm,
to make it seem like it's not shade to that person, but the person who is shade to knows that it's shade. I could be reaching, and I'm happy for y'all to say I'm reaching, but similar situations have taken place to make me feel like you can definitely be uplifting somebody and simultaneously shading another person. But that's just me
I didn't
being.
think about Mel. I think he just thought that Kimmy was a really good example for
for
the
Yeah,
you on
Destiny,
bullshit.
yeah,
yeah, no,
Yeah, I didn't think
especially when
about
he
Mel.
talked about 15
yeah.
hours. When he said 15 hours and she didn't
15?
complain about anything, she's definitely a great example of somebody that's like gonna power through for you. But when it came to
Mhm.
like that reality epitome of a reality show star thing, I'm just kind of like, Mel been spilling her own tea for years now in order to get y'all to this place. And she's not the epitome of that. I don't know.
Mm.
Just that just I don't know. I don't know. Felt a little something. I don't know. I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm fine with it. Latrice, thank you for the super chat. Destiny giving me exactly what I tell my coworkers. If you have time to lean, you have time to clean.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was talking about. I'll never forget when I was in high school working them damn Sonics.
Bruh, that's hilarious. As we heard, thank you for the super chat. Destiny is gonna try to sell us her trauma as a storyline. I'm not interested at this point. I don't like her making it seem as if the way people receive her on the show has been so terrible for her, because what she refuses to realize, even in this interview, I feel like Anthony kept trying to make her see your attitude is affecting your business. The way you
Mm-hmm.
talk to people is affecting your business. And the thing you're mad at Mel about is the reason why her businesses do well, because she knows how to like focus on what she needs to focus on and not let her bitter feelings, as everybody says, get in the way of opportunity. And I think it's a whole nother thing when you sitting up there letting your badass attitude, fuck you out of brand deals and all of that. Like, come on.
For sure.
Thank you, Fadisha, for the super chat. When will black women start wearing capes for sorry black men? Girl, I don't know, but that's what it feel like. That's what it feel like. But yeah, y'all, love and marriage Huntsville is the gift that continues to gift. So,
Mhm.
appreciative of everybody that does give. Child, I'm appreciative of Destiny giving a terrible interview with that young man, because, girl,
Yeah,
He
I've
was
seen
ready for
him
her,
on
baby.
Mel's lives before. He does really good asking good questions and stuff like that.
Say that
yeah.
again, Nisi.
I've seen him on Mel's lives before,
Oh, okay, okay.
and he does a good job asking the
Now,
questions. He got a
see,
Ah,
good
good.
personality.
remember when
He
we
asked
was
the
talking
questions that
about
people want to know.
remember we was talking about Destiny going to him because she thought that he would not have that energy with her? with her, but he's been on Mel's live before, so it makes me wonder what she thought.
I think what she thought was she probably didn't know he'd be over there on Mel's lives. I think that her doing, because it looks like she might be doing interviews. I'm not sure. But I want to believe she could be doing interviews with smaller YouTubers. I feel like, or just like YouTubers in general, because I feel like Mel did that same run. After Candy did that YouTuber run, I think Mel did it, and then now I think Destiny is doing it. But I feel like, my personal opinion, don't know if this is fact, but I feel like Destiny may be doing this series of interviews with YouTubers to likely show the network any relevance to probably bring her into film.
Yes.
IDK, but that's just what crossed my mind. If people are saying in her latest live, she said that one, they're filming, and two, they haven't called her to film yet. And then you're hearing Carlos say in one interview, we were rooting for you. The key word for me was were. And then now we're hearing him on this part saying, he's not playing with people no more. You need to bring that to the front. It sounds like you're gonna be limited or you finna be out.
Mm-hmm.
And
she might have to pop up
show
limited. I think limited.
Mm-hmm.
And I
can see that
the interviews are to help build up the more taping happening thing. I think
right, but she ain't talking about nothing in the interviews.
No, she not. And then she act like somebody's supposed to ask her about something else. I love this comment. One thing Bondy gonna do is circle everything back to Mel. You know what, love? I accept that. You know what I'm saying? I accept that. I receive that. What? I'm in therapy. I received that. If y'all feel like, because I'm trying to work on myself. So if y'all feel like I'm always like caping for her in a way that is, imbalanced, I apologize for that. I am working on myself. I do think too deeply into things. I do read too deeply into things. It's something that I do. It's low key why I'm good at this, but also why I can be a little bit too cynical. So I respect that if that's how y'all feel. But I also feel like if Destiny and everybody else didn't circle everything back to Mel at some point, then I wouldn't either. Essentially, I feel like the relationship between Carlos and Melody is a precarious one. I think they have a love-hate relationship. I think that she knows he does things to get a certain reaction out of her because it looks good on camera and shit. And I also, know that she's there to get that bag. So like, I feel like their relationship is an interesting one in the way things happen on a reunion show always show me something about their relationship. So I might just be in that mind. So I'm sorry about that, y'all. But the last thing I wanted to mention before we move on from Love and Marriage Huntsville was Martell saying that he was needing $3,000 in order to be interviewed.
I was hoping you were going to say something about that.
Yeah, Anthony Lofty said that when he asked Martell for an interview, Martell sent an email saying that he required $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony said he's gonna pop that pussy for $3,000.
He
said it's gonna be P Valley.
Gonna be shaking some type of tail feather.
Y'all, that's ridiculous. Why would anybody pay for an interview from you? It is not that. First of all, you don't communicate effectively enough for somebody to pay $3,000 for an interview with you. How do I know you're gonna give? Like, how do I even come on, get the fuck out of here?
I would love to interview Martell. I think it would be funny. I think he would be nervous.
Mm-hmm. I think any of the men would be nervous.
I think he'll be very nervous. But yeah,
what our fourth member say?
He'll put a rack up.
No, put a rack up. Martell not getting any of my dimes.
And not at all.
No. I'll buy a bottle of wine.
Not even a little bit. Listen, I might listen. We might. If you could send us a bottle of wine and we could all we could talk about it and but that's if you're telling them, because you and Sheree got that in common. Y'all love putting some shit up and we ain't heard nothing about nobody receiving no orders yet. Nicole, thank you for the super chat. Carlos' mom probably wasn't doing anything due to being tired from chemo. Therefore, Kimmy filming seems like a lot to him. Okay.
I don't think his mom went. I don't know.
He said his mom had breast cancer and she went through that, and that's why he was kind of relating that he understood how Kimmy was feeling. So if she was tired or anything, he would have gave her whatever because he had a direct experience with that with his mom passing away.
I just didn't know if his mom went through the chemo part because he said that she went through everything in silent and didn't go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
Mm.
like she was going through the same treatment as Kimmy. So I don't know. I mean, they both have a commonality where they both have breast cancer, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say it was the chemo part.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I did feel like all of his emotion about that was like really about his mom and shit. You know what I'm saying? I felt
Mhm.
that. SB, thank you for the super chat. Pay Martell $3,000 for him to say things of that nature for an hour.
Things of that nature. Or gotcha, gotcha,
Things
gotcha.
of that- it is. He do say that a lot. He do say that a lot.
Yeah, things of that nature.
he does. He does say 20 a lot too. You got 20 girlfriends. You got
He
20
does.
babysitters.
Hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? He do like
I'm not
that.
out here doing 20 interviews.
Right.
Right. Thank you, Kia, for the super chat. Why Martell charging for interviews reminded me of when Sheree was charging for pictures. Oh, probably
Yeah.
her idea. It probably was Sheree's idea. That is too funny. But
I
yeah,
thought it was
y'all,
Mel
that's
Nika.
listen. Or Mel
I was like,
Nika.
this
Is she
sounds
still
like an
around?
email from Mel Nika.
Ooh, I wonder if they still cool because you know after he tried to out her on TV, we ain't seen her since.
No.
No, we
She
haven't.
said
I don't know where she been.
she disappeared like that.
Oh, one more thing I wanted to point out because that was funny. I feel
Mhm.
like when Mel pointed out how Martell collects friends just so he can have a moment where he could be like, see, I have all these friends, Mel. Like, I love that she said that shit because that's exactly how I felt. And if he not cool with Mel Nika no more, like, I would love to hear, the situation because, he's supposed to be the best friend ever. Y'all supposed to be friends forever.
Mm.
So I'd love to hear about, what
Shit.
happened.
They've
But
been filming, so they probably gonna drop another season in
April.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say May, and I was like, that's too far. Let me back up. April, probably.
I can see that.
It was all good. That's hilarious. We can't wait to see y'all. So there's that. Before we get into
Wait a
Real
little bit.
Housewives of Potomac, can y'all do me a favor and like the video up? Where is the damn thing where I'm looking for the damn thing? Oh, listen, there we go. Did you like the video yet? Did you just bouncing or did you like the video yet? That's the question. I need y'all to like the video. Y'all thought I forgot, but I didn't. Like, ooh, girl.
I'm excited.
This would have never went down if Monique was still here.
It wouldn't.
No.
Somebody would have been in there with the sage, like, we need a moment. We need a moment.
But it's funny that they kind of, I don't know if it's in this trailer or another one, they kind of referenced the Samuels getting a divorce. And I'm like, now why y'all gonna bring that lady
that.
stuff up if y'all know she not on the show? Now why would y'all do that?
I feel like we saw our response to that first trailer and then put this one out after the fact because that first trailer they put out was so trash and boring and I didn't understand what we were supposed to get from that. This one looks way more interesting. Why would they not have put this shit out first?
I think people thought that, I think they thought it was going to be like a grab because they mentioned Monique and Chris, but it's been months since, she popped on the internet talking about she's still married. I did want to say, what's her name? Joy, right? Joy in Clifton irritated me on Rated to Love, but when I seen her say to Ashley, so you made me, I was like, oh, I might like her. I might like her on this show. I'm gonna have to watch.
I said the same thing. They showed a quick snippet of the both of them. Like it's a separate video they just dropped. And I was like, dang, I might end up liking them. I mean, they look like they may fit. They may go together. They may work.
I might like them on this show. Yes.
I think so. I didn't think I was gonna like
Cringing
her
at
because I didn't like her, the male identifiedness on that other show neither. But the way she holding herself on this one, it might actually be entertaining. I mean, Winter did say she was cool, so we'll see. But first of all, I won't point out how many times was Ashley gonna get into a fight during this season because it looked like she got into it with everybody.
Girl, she fighting to be in charge of the girls.
You know
Feeling
it.
herself.
That's
Working
what we
nights,
said.
holidays, and weekends to get the shift manager to take Monique's spot.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, girl, I know she glad Monique gone. So now she can get in the middle. But y'all notice how they split the middle between her and Winter. I
Yes.
said
Yeah.
these must be the main two that's going to be bringing a lot,
Yes.
this
You seen in the
season.
preview when Ashley was at the book interview and they was asking her about Monique and she was like, I don't give a fuck about Monique. This is my interview. Did y'all see
Oh,
that preview?
I did not
no.
see that preview.
It was a preview where she was like, this ain't about Monique. This is about me. Like, she did not give a damn.
She was thinking. I wonder when that was recorded.
I know.
I
didn't
think
see
probably
that.
around the time when they was asking about the divorce.
Because when she did a live interview on her page, she was like, I don't know, I'm filming. I don't know what's up with Monique. And then maybe she just got tired by the time she filmed that portion and said, I don't give a. That's some messy
I think,
stuff.
first of all, I love Winter with the ice blonde hair. It does
Oh
something for me
God,
in this
she was
picture.
great.
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
and she's
Giving
giving
face.
in the center of the photo, like absolutely giving. I'm here for it. It looks like Arena has a homegirl on the show, or Windsor has a homegirl on the show, and then Ashley has a homegirl, and Ashley's homegirl and her get into it with everybody else. So that's what I understand of that
Their two
situation.
homegirls look alike.
Yes, they
They
do.
said Joy put this picture up on her page, but she removed the two other girls,
I
Oh,
saw that. I saw that.
the two
shit.
standing up.
Nicole Thompson, thank you for the super chat. Can y'all touch on Stormy saying Destiny's not aggressive? Interesting in your opinion. Do we have to say that Stormy is a people
Uh,
pleaser and full of shit?
I agree with what Stormy said though.
I didn't even hear. When did she say that?
No, she said if
Part
if
two.
she's aggressive, I'm aggressive. And yeah, y'all are both
Y'all
aggressive.
both? Yeah. When
Yeah.
need be, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
She said
Stormy
no
is
first.
aggressive when need be. We've seen softer sides of Stormy's personality.
Yes.
Destiny approaches all situations the same.
Stank face.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to say, like, I feel like we all agreed that Stormy wants
Not
to fit
I.
in.
I didn't agree to that. I think you and Necey
And
did.
Stormy what?
She wants
Mm-mm.
to fit in with everybody now.
Oh yeah, I agree to that
Oh, okay.
for sure.
You don't think she wants to fit in with the Scots and them now?
My verdict's still out. I think maybe next season, once I see it like really play out, I might change my mind. But I mean, I don't really see that yet.
So what did you think about the way she handled the situation with Destiny then?
Now that with Destiny, I did cringe at that because it's like, what is this desire for you to really want to be friends with this woman? I was a bit embarrassed that she sat on that stage, called this woman a friend, but that woman looked at you and said ditto. That
Wasn't just that for me. For me, it was the fact that she wanted everybody else to acknowledge what she had done for Destiny. Like she didn't only want the approval from Destiny and the forgiveness from Destiny. She was going over to the Scots. I got her a Gucci. I did like she still wanted that approval from the other cast members to say Destiny just be her friend. So that was it for me. But I mean, I understand you like let me feel it out some more. But I'm in full agreement that she wants to be liked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm not saying it like she a bad person or anything. I still really like Stormy, but I just feel like the way she moved, especially with Destiny, was like a representation of her being a personality that wants to be well liked. And when she came on the show, she was being herself. And then everybody had this negative reaction to her being herself. And now I think she's people pleasing in order to get away from the way she came off to everybody.
yeah. I see what you're saying. It is, again, I have to say, questionable because when she came on the show, she wasn't calling nobody no friend. Remember that?
No,
Not even Tiffany.
she was keeping
Like,
it.
I
Right,
don't
she was
really do
keeping it up.
friends.
Yeah.
But then you get up there and you say that about Destiny, it is gonna make people kind of question you and feel like what you got going on? Like, I mean, are you a people pleaser, as y'all mentioned? So yeah, that ain't no good look.
I don't think Stormy moves the way she wants, regardless of what the fans think. I think what the fans say greatly affected her, and I wish that it hadn't. I
Yeah,
think she
it
had a
did.
real, visceral reaction to people thinking that she is less than what she really is.
I didn't think it was that deep either.
Me either. I didn't think she was gonna respond, like, because people gonna talk. That's what they do when you get on reality TV. They always gonna find something to hate on you about.
Always.
Especially if you
And it ain't no
disrespect
pleasing
yourself.
this audience. It's just no pleasing them. So you
Mm-mm.
just get in where you fit in and just be you.
Yeah, I think she's successful. I think she wants to be famous. I think she wants to use the show to catapult her business more. And I think in order to do that, she has to align herself more with the Scotts because they are the majority on the show. And she has more space to film with them because it's more of them to talk to. And then getting in cool with Destiny, I feel like was like some type of natural reaction to Destiny's personality. I think Destiny refusing to actually be nice to her made her want to try harder. Like that's
Yep.
what if and that feels like a a childhood type of thing.
Would we
Where
say that the same thing would apply to Tiffany?
what
Yes.
you mean?
Y'all think Tiffany's a people pleaser too?
On
Well,
some
hold on. I
level,
wouldn't say people pleasing because she did
she
show up shaking the damn table on some bullshit.
like 2 times.
I don't know if I would say she cares about people liking her. I don't
But being
actually.
that they're like the majority, like the Scots and stuff.
She did. I
Yes.
think she did do that eventually. It felt like that, but it was a little bit more subtle. Like we also didn't care that much, but we did notice. I feel like we called out when we started to see her like having these conversations about Mel with other people, and
And
we were like,
Martell
yeah, we was like, Mel not gonna like that conversation she just
and
had with
Destiny.
Marcel. And we saw that, but nobody made a big deal out of it either. Like nobody really responded to it the same way that they do with Destiny or Stormy. But I feel like with Stormy, they have been trying to make shit happen even before anything was really happening with like ever since the fight happened online. People have been like, well, why you wasn't down for your friend? Because everybody felt like it was Mel against everybody else. And I think that was misguided. They didn't know what the hell was going on. But yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
Have y'all noticed? Like, I feel like okay, it's a few things in my head about this, but I'm gonna let us move on. Number one, it's always interesting to see the people trying to go back have a conversation with Destiny when Destiny is the one in the wrong because I feel like Tiffany kind of did the same thing Stormy did, trying to have a sit down conversation with Destiny, and they eventually linked up and they learned things about each other. I feel like Tiffany operating with the circle the same way Stormy's operating with the circle. The only problem I see that Stormy had was over offering a Gucci bag to this woman. I think that well, probably not the only, but one of the situations that I think people not letting go of is that like how she like, please, like, like I'm like, let's talk. Like that whole little scene kind of like
Rubbed
messed her
everybody
up. So now
wrong.
people looking at you like, nah. So I see the subtleness you mean when it comes to like Tiffany, because we didn't see that part. And that's why I think Stormy messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, on top of her popping up at the reunion, and you could tell she was working overtime when the cameras left to get in cool, using the same language, same cadence. I think she's cool. I like Destiny a lot. Like Destiny and Tiffany be
Isolated
and
incident.
Destiny. Yeah, isolated incident. Destiny and Tiffany didn't come on the reunion like, oh, we love each other. Like we like each other a lot. I think Tiffany, and whenever you think about the scenes where Tiffany was discussing Mel, I feel like those are probably scenes where they're like, okay, discuss this with Martell.
Mhm.
Okay, discuss this with Destiny. I think it's different. Tiffany and Stormy,
Tiffany's
I do think
drier.
that it's different. I think Tiffany's just annoying as hell. But I don't
She
think
has
that
that
she
quality.
has that same, like me, please like me.
Yes, there's a like a softness that Tiffany doesn't have that Stormy has to me. So I feel like that's another reason why people didn't perceive it the same way. Because Tiffany's not going to give you that emotional thing. That's not her thing. Like
She's
that's
a very
dry kind of sort.
like
Yeah,
a shrug your shoulders ass
yeah,
person. Like, I don't know, bitch,
mhm,
I don't give a damn. So
exactly.
what they said? So
So
your
she
husband
didn't
was
make it.
sleeping with her? Like she just like one of those, like, I don't give a damn. But
Yeah,
Stormy is like, I don't give a damn. But hey, wait, so but but she
yeah,
really do care. So
yes,
but Tiffany, I think she stands more in her whatever. I said it. That's
yeah.
what happened. Like that's how she is. So
That's what it gives to me. But yeah, so that was that on that, child. Now that we've done that, we did look at the trailer. The trailer for Love and Marriage DC does look interesting, child. We'll talk about it on here. But we need to move on to Real Housewives Potomac. Okay. So main things with Real Housewives Potomac, Karen versus Sharice. Okay. I feel like we listen, big arm
Let me
movements.
get some sweat to put on my forehead and let me get some
Girl,
lace.
Sharice's wigs leave so much to desire. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Lee, thank you for the super chat. Stormy laughing like she was about to pee herself, talking about Destiny 9 business. Finally getting someone in the store made me look at Stormy sideways when we see her begging Destiny for friendship. It gave that. Thank you for the super chat. But Karen and Sharice, I feel like we all see what's happening here, right? Karen doesn't want to talk about her situation that she has in her marriage because she feels like it'll probably be embarrassing to old Uncle Rick. And Sharice, I think, is trying to get back on the show as a full cast member, and for some reason, production is not feeling it. So she's in cahoots with Giselle and Robin, trying to like force Sharice into the group by having issues with Karen, and all of this shit. I do feel like Sharice initially went to the funeral and all of that so she can get in good with Karen. I do. I think the text message that Karen put out proving that she did send more than just a sentence. She sent a full paragraph, asked where she could send a donation to, where she could send flowers to. She did everything that you were really deserving. Nobody has to call you if they don't feel like it. They can text you. Like, just the fact that they reached out really should be enough for you, because nothing can really, absolve you from pain when your people pass. And she's really happy with it in the text. So I feel like everything Sharice has been doing has been what Karen has been saying. You keep trying to have a moment off of me.
Yeah, the flashback I feel kind of did Sharice in, because I'm like, I didn't even know she even mentioned that or brought that up, because it is sounding like you went to the funeral like, I did this for you, just so you could turn around and say, I did this for you, I was here for you, I was that for you. And it's like, that's what you chose to do. Actually, I respect Karen for not even going to her funeral and sending a text, because if I don't F with you like that, why would I sit up there and go to your family members? Like, why would I do that when I know we ain't really rocking? Just send a text message. And then the gag is you drove 4 hours away like she was your best friend.
It was strategic.
And it's definitely a scheme that Giselle and Robin set up to come to us with the BS for sure. Because Giselle not trying to beef with, she act like she not trying to beef with Karen. But she brought that lady on that show to do her dirty work.
Yeah, I think Sharice was expecting somebody to keep her seat warm after she put the group together. And I just don't understand. Like, if you really are the true socialite of Potomac, why do you give a damn about fame? I think she's upset that Karen has all the fame. I think Robin and Giselle feel like they owe it to her because she's helped fund their lifestyles by getting them on the show. So that's why they working so hard. It just makes me think back to like the whole pizza situation, the tax evasion tank top that Giselle was wearing seasons ago. But yeah, Sharice is tired, and I feel like if you wanted to come back for your spot, you needed to come on ready. Hang up the beauty supply wigs that be hanging on the mannequins. Like, get you some custom shit if you're gonna come on the show, and get you some damn setting spray and powder so your face don't be sweating every time we see you. So if you're gonna come ready.
You mute, Bondy.
Oh, my bad, y'all. It don't matter what's going on in real life because you don't give that on camera. So I'm glad that y'all pointed out the whole Giselle really having an issue with Karen, because I wanted to show this is what we just recently saw in the sent y'all in the DMs or whatever. But the seating chart for the reunion show that take today, I believe. Karen and Giselle still in this seating. And we know that normally reunion shows are taped with the people who had the most drama sitting close to Andy. And then we move on, on out. So for it to be Karen and Giselle, we know, okay, so for Potomac, y'all just want to have the leader of both cliques sitting next to y'all, regardless to what's really going on in the season. Do y'all feel like that?
No.
I don't know if it's the leader of the cliques, but it's definitely production spaves. And I'm over that. I feel like Kenya Moore sat next to Andy for a very long time. Last season, they shook up the seating for Real Housewives of Atlanta. So why not shake up for this? Like, Giselle did, like, what did she do? Like, and then that's the crazy thing, right? If you're sitting Giselle next to Andy and her biggest storyline of the season was attaching herself to Chris and saying that he did this and that to her to make her feel uncomfortable, then why you don't have Candace sitting right across from Karen?
I forgot
so,
all about that at this point. I forgot all about
or at
Chris.
least sitting right across from Giselle. Like, why Candace can't be in Karen's seat or put Candace in Giselle's seat? Because I felt like everybody, even
Yeah.
people that's friends of the show, came for that girl. So I don't know what Andy got going on, but I don't like it.
I don't either. I also that comment somebody said Sharice put Giselle and her friend out her house and talked about who she was dating. Now that Giselle is the queen bee of the show, she's trying to get Sharice back in the group. Make it make sense. I'm glad you said that because there was a part of this situation that made me feel like it was ass kissing from Robin and Giselle, like especially at the end after they had already had this Karen and Sharice conversation, and Robin and Giselle start the conversation all over again, talking about they didn't like the way her character was assassinated. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
While
Like,
Sharice just sat back and let them talk.
girl, it very much felt like, are
With a
y'all gonna get
smirk.
her out next? Like, what's gonna happen? Like,
And sweat beads over her forehead
They
and
was
on her upper lip.
they was so
like,
wrong for that. Like, that lady didn't just sit up there and say that lady need to go back to rehab. Like, she just didn't say that lady was out
Oh,
here cheating
say that.
on her husband. Like, I feel like if Karen owed, Sharice an apology, Sharice definitely owed. Like, they both should have just apologized to each other at the
Karen
end of
But
the
said,
day.
what did Karen say about
I was looking,
Sharice? That yeah, what did Karen say about Sharice? If you think about it? Karen hadn't even really acknowledged her, and you getting so
right,
fired up to the
right.
fact that you want to expose that this lady went to rehab. And I said in my review, I say it again: if Karen went to rehab, I mean, I don't think that that makes her a bad person. I don't. I think
Hmm.
that meant she went through some shit. Both of her parents
Right.
passed away. She might have been drinking. Who knows? But for you to
Hmm.
come expose that, like if she was in rehab, your ass should have been down to Orange Theory. Your ass should have been down to whatever community gym you was at to get yourself geared and ready to come on the show. So Sharice just this entire activity just disgusts me. And people really wanted to argue with me about her trying to come on during the Monique and Candace bullshit. That's why
Hmm.
I'm really so annoyed
She wasn't.
because a lot of people are not pointing fingers at her for the bullshit that went down between Monique and Candace. She
That's
was
what Karen was
involved.
talking about. That's what Karen was
Yes,
insinuating.
What
She
did
said
she
you
do?
drag your friends. She was
she
like,
was
Was
a
she on
part
the
of the
show?
plot. She wasn't on the show, but she was trying to come on the show.
yeah,
Um,
Ah.
they they brought her to an event, but I don't think they showed her on camera. For one, Sharice's whole purpose was to come on the show, and she was supposed to say something about the trainer first,
Oh
which
yeah,
is why that whole season it was kind of odd, where like Monique knew the rumor, everybody knew the rumor, but the rumor was never said on camera. That's because Sharice was supposed to be the one to come on and do it. So you're thirsty. You've been trying to come on the show forever. Robin and Giselle have been trying to plot and make ways for you to come on the show. And it's just giving desperate. Like if you're the real socialite, then be that. Your time has passed. You're not gonna be ground down. It's over.
yeah, I agree. I wish they would stop with the grind dime shit because essentially that's for Karen. Like it doesn't matter. It's not a real thing. Like there's no Queen of Potomac, Robin. Shut up.
it's no queen at all. Like,
Like,
let's dead the conversation. Like, I don't even
oh,
know. Giselle only brought that up to get under that lady's skin, though.
oh yeah, that was.
That's all it
What
was.
did I just say to y'all about people that give compliments to somebody so that they can shit on another person? That's definitely what
Yeah.
she did, what they did in that situation with Karen and Sharice. But outside of that, Candace read the dog shit out of Ashley in the nicest way possible, and it was award worthy, I think.
I
Um,
was shocked.
I don't think I've ever seen a moment like that before where you think it's about to be an argument because Ashley is obviously wrong in this situation for insinuating that Chris is trying to cheat on Candace with these frivolous, accusations that we have evidence of that it wasn't even all of that. Like y'all are doing a lot, right? So Candace should be highly upset at this point. She was. But when Ashley brings it to her, oh, I'm sorry that I brought my friends over because I wasn't trying to. I love the fact that Candace was like, okay, well, let's keep it a buck. I think you have had some toxic notes in your relationship. And because you are on go, because Michael has cheated on you over and over again, you're on go, and you think I should be on go because you're on go. And I trust my husband. So I don't have to worry about him having simple conversations with people because he's not going to pop up in a hotel with them 2 weeks later with his ass on Front Street, not like Michael. And see, that's the thing. I think Ashley is so caught up being angry with Candace, she forgets that Candace was coming to you with actual shit that was happening. And you know that. Versus the shit you come into her with is not even real. It's fake. And you're doing it just to hurt her. So when she said that I hope for you, that you find someone that you can really be safe with and you don't have to be on go and wondering about the conversations that they have with women and all of that. I pray for you one day that you find that. And Ashley was just like, boing, like somebody had just knocked her. Yeah. She kind of said, you know what, Candace? You may be right. I did feel away when you made fun of my miscarriage. I did. And let's be clear, you did shit to Candace in order for Candace to get to that place with you, Ashley, because I feel like it's a cycle of Candace and Ashley's relationship that I think Candace really wants to be friends with Ashley because I think they have fun together. And I think Ashley is always jealous of Candace in some respect. And it shows with the way that she handles her. She has these moments where she completely blindsides Candace with foolishness. And Candace is like, bitch, I thought we was cool. So I really want for her. I love the moment, but I want for Candace to stop going down this cycle with Ashley.
That means she don't need to be trying to be friends with her no more because you already know how she operates. I loved how she was pretty poised with how she got this girl together. And I liked it because Ashley was ready to start an argument. She always be ready. She always be ready to say something sideways. And Candace I'm just so proud of Candace this season. Like how she's been handling stuff, how she's been reacting to things. It hasn't been as dramatic as, previous seasons. And I appreciated it. Got her together. She didn't know what the hell to do. Loved it.
I think it was so clear of a read because it wasn't even a read. I think that's literally how Candace has felt. I think Candace has taken a long time to think about how she's felt about Ashley, which is why she was celebrating the divorce. So it was nothing for her to just tell her the truth, but the truth hurts, which is why it was just like, oh, shit was stinging. It was stinging.
It was entertaining nonetheless, child. I enjoyed it. Is there anything else about the episode you guys thought was interesting? Because I didn't.
Mia full of shit. That's really what it is. Mia's full of it. She full of it. I loved how Wendy was collecting her at that table though. Mia couldn't handle Wendy. It's like you can't go toe to toe with Wendy. You're not equipped. And you have to be okay with that because she was getting you. I loved how Candace brought it up when Robin trying to call out Karen for apologizing to the table, but not to that person. It's like, girl, shut the hell up. Like you just did the same thing to Wendy, like not too long ago. But you want to talk about this. I love that Candace kind of brought up the situation, I guess, like with the Mia and the Wendy, and we pretty much took it there. I loved it. Me too. I'm glad that she got her together. But she can't handle that lady.
No.
Thank you, Hello Sierra, for the super chat. Season 1 of ATL, Sheree was a connector, but Nene outshined her. Same with Jill Zarin and Bethany, Caroline Manzo, and Teresa. Star quality is star quality. Sorry, Sheree.
That's true. That's true.
I also wanted to point out because I pointed this out in my review. Robin basically saying in her interview that she didn't care about Wendy getting assaulted because she doesn't like her.
Yeah.
And then turning around and having this huge moment on Sharice's behalf. And
you're being mean.
Right. But you ignored what happened to Wendy. You ignored it. You pulled out your phone. You tried to make her look like she was the person that was being aggressive in the moment. And then I think about the Juan situation. And Juan not saying anything, not correcting the situation when that kid came to him and said, hey, this guy has done this to me. And Juan just completely, ignored it and then did with a lot of, you punished him, basically. You punished the victim and you lied basically about what happened to them. And I think that it is
allegedly.
But based on the articles we've read, it seems as if Juan and Robin have that in common. If it suits them, they will allow someone to be harmed, assaulted, brutalized, and they will stay quiet about it as long as it suits them. And I feel like that's the true sign of you being a bad person. But I'm gonna let
I
y'all.
also think a lot of men, I'm trying to think of what the average toxic man would do. And I feel like the average toxic man would just assume they own gay shit and not involve themselves in a way to where you have a predator and a victim.
Mm.
And I think that's probably why he ignored it. I'm not saying it's right at all, but when a men automatically get uncomfortable when they hear like weird men on men shit, so for him to hear that, he probably was like, "What?" Rejected it, didn't do what he was supposed to do, and neglected the situation. But yeah, Robin, you know what? The seating arrangement is not even, and y'all don't understand how badly I would just love for them to just move the box, move her box.
They really, I said it earlier that they could have had Jacqueline up there. As much as she was a part of this season, she really could have sat up there the whole time.
Next to Wendy.
For real.
They probably gonna have
now.
Sesame Street next to Wendy.
She better not even come to
Ever.
she better not be nowhere near that reunion. Nowhere near. I don't even want her to phone in.
Nah, it would just mess up the vibes, aesthetic.
Okay. Before, because this adds to something that I want to add. Because like I have one last story that I wanted to do because we've been on here for a long ass time. But I do want to mention, like Juan and Robin, Andy. Chris Wallace interviewed Andy, and Andy basically said that he wanted Jen Shah to get no jail time after she pled guilty. He tried to make it seem like he didn't know that she was guilty, but I think we all knew that she was guilty. But it brings me back to people feeling comfortable to vocalize that they want somebody to get away with stealing all of this money from old people. Like like y'all are so messed up as people to me when y'all like don't even feel ashamed. And I feel like Chris Wallace had to make him feel ashamed of the fact that he said that, because otherwise he would have felt like it was fine because he's friends with her. And there were people in the comments that were like, I literally read a comment that said, every last one of us would probably hope the same for our loved one, even if they were guilty. And I'm like, no. Everybody does not think that. No.
Especially when you know Jen Shah is so fucked up. I'm sorry, but before it even came out about her doing the scheming, or I guess as it came out, I couldn't fuck with her for one. Because when the feds raided your house because of the illegal shit you was doing, you tried to make it into they showed up to my house with guns and I have black sons. Bitch, you was out here scheming and you got black sons and you want to weaponize your black kids to make people feel away from you. Then when she got into it with the girls on the show, she said they had they knee in my neck the same year the George Floyd shit went down. I'm not fucking with Jen Shah. So I don't even know how Andy Cohen could say that just because she makes good TV. I knew she was guilty when she presented herself on the show because she has so many character flaws that I'm just like, I can't fuck with this lady at all. Like, she dangerous as fuck. Dangerous. That's why everybody can't have black kids. But whatever.
Bring it out. Thank you, California Cutie, for the super chat. Love you, ladies. Love you back. Thank you.
Love you back, girl. Thank you.
Y'all make sure y'all like the video. We're gonna get into the last topic so I can, let y'all go. I really don't mean to hold y'all for this long, but the conversation's just been going. And y'all know how we be, girl.
Yeah, that's all right.
So this is something I wanted to talk about because I mentioned it.
Okay.
The passport bros. So basically, this is something that's been trending on Twitter and TikTok and YouTube. These guys who I feel like are socially awkward or weird or have some type of like unattractive physical quality about themselves, they can't get women in the States. So they basically 90-day fiance and go to all of these other countries and, sleep with the women there. And they get online and they say that, oh, these women are raised to be wives. They're so much better than American women because they're raised to be wives. And really, this one guy here, the real King Brujo, was in Brazil, and he did a lot of videos talking about how, Brazilian women are so much better versus African-American women or American women, period, because American women aren't raised to be wives. And apparently his videos caught a lot of traction. And then what ended up happening was they called sex tourism on him. And
Ooh.
yeah, and basically did an article saying watch out for this man. So I'm gonna play the TikTok video. Um, just a little bit of it because it's kind of long and I don't want to play the whole thing, but I do want us to have like just a little bit of understanding for what's going on here, girl. And shout out to TikTok because oh girl. I mean, okay.
How this is going on is because a lot of people in Brazil are misinterpreting the things that I'm saying in English, and they don't really know English that well, and they're misinterpreting a lot of things because I don't say anything negative about Brazilians, so that's why it's so shocking to me to have this going on. First, this is very heartbreaking to me. The fact that it was always my dream to live in Brazil, and my YouTube channel was centered around me showing other men, not just the women, but just if you guys understand English and you watch my videos, you see me talk about how I enjoy just first of all, we can start with just the drinks. I mean how well the drinks are in Brazil. I love the drinks in Brazil over any other country I've been to, even my home country. The food is a lot more healthy. I have a lot more energy. My skin glows a lot better in Brazil. Everything about me is better in Brazil. But I'm very heartbroken knowing that because this whole situation is going on, that even let's say for example I'm not banned to come in Brazil. Since my name has been slandered around and misinformed to the majority of the people, well, it seems like the majority of Brazil, but a lot of people in Brazil, it's not safe even if I wanted to come back. If I wanted to come back to stay in Brazil, it wouldn't be safe.
Now it's not safe for you. You snitch like a little bit. Yeah, y'all passport bros, y'all was self-snitching on yourself. Yeah, Austin, you was doing it too. Yeah. All y'all was self-snitching on yourself. Yeah, that's what y'all was doing. You blew the spot up, and now you apologizing to Brazilian women. No. You need to be apologizing to our queens in America for disrespecting them. Okay? And realize that American women didn't get you canceled, bruh. Brazilian women got you canceled. And now you can't even really walk the streets of Brazil and feel safe. American women didn't do that to you, bruh. And I just want to say this because I was a person that y'all seen from the beginning as a man. I seen that my queens in America were being disparaged and being disrespected, and I wasn't going for that. I took a stand and I stayed on the passport bro's head. All right. So
You muted.
Thanks, love. The guy who he was talking about is Austin Hullerman, but it's from Real King Brujo's TikTok. But the guy is Austin Hullerman. I wanted to be clear about that. But if you look up the hashtag for Passport Bros, there are so many videos of the men talking about Passport Bros. But these are the responses from women recently. But like this one right here was one of the ones I saw. Like this is the type of stuff they doing on TikTok, like making these stupid videos holding up passports and shit.
And exposing themselves as they go overseas to get with other women.
Yeah.
And impregnate these women and leave.
Right, look at this. A woman that's gonna feed you your drink. Like
it, you know what's so funny about this? I feel a lot of them go over there to feel whatever they feel, like they the king, but when they come back, they mattress probably on the floor and they probably at their mama house. Like that's the gag for me. I hate it. Yeah, fly your ass out the country. Cause thank God ain't no BIT here in America dealing with that bullshit. Go ahead and go.
Oh my
Stupid.
God, that is so creepy.
You know what it remind me of?
What?
It's like a new wave of all them white men that was going over with the Korean War and getting them Korean ladies. It reminds me of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of like honestly, It's like they think they're doing something new, but this is like 90 Day Fiance. This is what the dudes do. They can't get somebody here, so they go over there and take advantage of women who, whose dollar isn't worth as much. So you
Right.
like you got money to these people because they're in
Yes.
such dire straits. But the funny part about it was the fact that they complain about American women being too difficult and requiring too much and wanting money and all of this shit, basically saying that American women are gold diggers. But then you go and trick off on these girls in another country, but it's only because it's cheaper to trick off on them in their country. Essentially, you're doing the same thing that is being asked of you by American women, which is to pay for shit. You broke.
Easier to stunt.
Okay. But it was just interesting to me the way this was like popping up all over the place, and it was really being forced on my timeline. But I never thought that dudes being ignorant online would end up with them being like banned from a whole country.
We love to see it. So keep holding on passports up, you dummies, trying to get clout and gonna get kicked out. Stupid.
He was killing me when he started. You knew he was full of shit when he was like, the drinks are better. My skin is
Right.
clearer.
Yes.
That's not what that was about. This wasn't about your skin.
No, it wasn't. It was about you and that lisp and that speech impediment going over there to trick off on women who will be impressed by you simply because you are American. And that's another thing. Then women be like pressed just because you're American. And I think a lot of men do that. Like, I mean, people settle, period. But it's a lot of people, and especially black men, that will go and be with women who they complain about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get mad that these women aren't helping you or doing this and doing that, but you actually go and seek out women that don't do those things. It's so weird to me. It's weird. The guys want what they, what they don't want to give. Look, green card us, okay? Green card us, okay? This hurts my heart that they really feel like that those be the ugly people who got teased in school. That's that self-hate. Child, it would make me feel bad if they didn't have to step on black women in American women's backs. Like, y'all want us to feel bad because we have more rights than the rest of the, like, they're made to be wives because they don't have a choice. Like, it's the easiest thing to do. We have choices. We can make our own money. So we don't, like, y'all really want us to go back to this time period where women were forced to be with men because they needed them for financial reasons. Like, y'all want us to go back to that so bad that y'all are traveling to another country and spending ridiculous amounts of money on plane tickets and hotels so you could trick off on somebody that as soon as you come back home so you can make some more money, she gonna be fucking Pablo from her country. Okay. So, if you want to play yourself this bad, you could do it without adding us to the conversation as African American women and as American women, because it's all, we're not submissive enough. Isn't that funny? Like, they be on TikTok talking about the black women not submissive. Then the white women and Latino women start saying, nigga, we not doing that shit neither. I don't know why y'all keep trying to come over here to us. Now y'all niggas like, oh, we gonna go out the country. Running from accountability. Child.
Yeah.
A mess. Passport bros say independent black women are masculine and not submissive. Yes. And that's why I was saying, like, it's funny that these themes are constantly perpetuated even throughout all of the reality shows, Reddit Love. Anything on OWN, I feel like, is this whole idea of the Martin Luther King, Coretta Scott King ideal relationship where the black man is leading you somewhere with I have a dream speech and you're beautiful and having all of these children while he cheats on you with white women. But it's okay because it's the struggle. And that's what you got to do to be, this woman on this, like, it's just, to me, like, it all circles back around to me. So, like, a lot of times, these representations, we're getting them all over the place of what we're supposed to be as women, and it's exhausting.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
Therapy. That's another thing. I'm going to let y'all go. We were going to talk about Corinne Steffens and Kwame and all of that. Maybe we'll talk about it another time. But I'm going to just say this. Everything she got going on over there.
It's freezing now.
And I mean that because your friends do not have to be able to sit.
Say that one more time, Bondy.
I'm going.
You were freezing.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Am I clear now? Okay, so we about to end it. But yeah, Corinne Steffen's situation with old dude getting pregnant for a guy that is not available to you, a younger guy, then you online crying about it. Like, I'm glad she got a therapist. Everybody needs therapy.
Yes.
That's what her whole, because I watched her video earlier and that's what that taught me. Everybody needs therapy. Everybody needs somebody that they can talk to about their issues, because I think we feel like, oh, I'll just talk to my friend, or oh, I'll just talk to this person. But essentially, sometimes you have to talk about things over and over again, and your friends and your family members do not need to go on this emotional roller coaster with you. So you need to get you a therapist so you can hit that person up and talk to them and get clear on what's going on. Okay.
Mhm.
Because yeah, like I think Corinne is like one of those extremely smart people, but extremely, fucked up, for lack of a better term. They give you highs and lows.
Mhm.
But yeah, y'all get that therapy. With that being said, we appreciate everybody for coming through for the Ooh Ladies First panel tonight. Thank y'all so much. We enjoyed y'all. Make sure y'all follow all of us at Bondy Blue, at Jami ThatsMe, at Necey Dixon. Follow us on Twitter, Ooh Ladies First. If you would like to interview with us or send us some tea, email us at OohLadiesFirstPanel at gmail.com. And make sure y'all share this video with y'all people. Follow all of us on our respective YouTube channels so you can know when the next Ooh Ladies First panel is happening, which it will be on our girl Jami's channel. So y'all make sure y'all do that. And yeah, we appreciate y'all. Like the video on your way out.